live or not. Alright. Live on Facebook. So like, so you might check with the audio bubble shot. Let's make sure everything's all up ahead. Go on. Hashem Yahushai Barakatam to all the brothers, Shalom Hashem Yahushai to all the sisters them. Alright, this is the I.S.U.P.K under command in GEN.YAHANNA, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that you are the people of the Bible. You are the people that these records belong to. You follow? Society today, you understand, don't want you to understand that you belong to a people, that you belong to a race of people. You have a responsibility, you have a culture. You understand, you have things that you used to do, things that you have to follow after, you know what I mean? Things that your forefathers and foremothers set down and show you examples of how you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to live. You understand? What's the regular way of operating on a daily basis? You know what I mean? What's the mindset of an Israelite? You know what I mean? Of the people that descend from Jacob, of the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? The so-called American man and American woman in the States, United States, the tribe of Judah, you know what I mean? Caribbean, the so-called tribe of Benjamin, all right? Well, the tribe of Benjamin, but the so-called West Indian and West Indian woman, right? Puerto Rico, and then the list goes on. We have a list of where the majority of tribes will be today, right? The people all in Grenada and all of that, you know what I mean? Thinking these are Grenadian and these places and them just now pop up. This is not the ways of your forefathers and them, you know? They don't want you to understand that the most I don't deal with individuals like that. On a, you know what I mean, like a regular basis. Yes, you have an individual responsibility as a person, right? But what you just deal with things is not because you don't do a certain extent of things, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean, you don't go to the extreme level, right? Are doing some things that your brothers and sisters might not have the understanding to see that, hey, in fact, they don't have the understanding to see the effects of it, right? And usually they can't see in front of the nose because society doesn't create something called instant gratification and not have you thinking as a nation to think about future generations. You don't think like that. Yeah. Usually there's not the, you know what I mean, there's not the mind state of our people. They're not conditioning you to think like that because how our oppressor works and the oppressors below him. You follow the people that link up with him, the people that sit on the UN, because there's no seat for the children of Israel on the UN, United States, the United Nations, right? They united against us. We is the enemy that we really don't even understand that we are the enemies. We are the people and them that is easy prey, the easy target. They follow? And what the Lord trying to show you then is these things these things are punishments that are given to you for you to really catch yourself. You know what I mean? For you to get so much licks and want to know instead of you crying and your snotty nose and your eye running down with the water, you follow, and you're bawling, woes me and all these different things and stuff. Put you on pause then to slow down your life to put your stuff. Because remember, you can't go forward. We as a people, we will do all kind of different things and go to the far lengths, you know what I mean, to our imagination, because the Lord give us a, you know, He make us greater than every nation on the face of the planet, make us greater than every race, right? So there's nothing that we can do, you understand, righteousness and evil, right, in terms of what it is. Of course, a man will have certain traits and certain and special things and then that he could do, a woman the same thing, right? But it's not to say that we can accomplish things as an entire nation. But the reason why we cannot do it at the moment is because we don't think as a nation. We don't embody the culture. We don't understand our records. Our records is what is tied right back into, you understand, what it is do, right? What you're doing right now is basically who you is, right? Because that's how you're formulated to be. That's what the scripture is talking about when you're born in sin and shape iniquity. Sin and iniquity raise you up. You follow? If you never come and understand this Bible, the church does not teach the Bible. Or for God's sakes, I don't know how come somebody could, you know what I mean, not have the in fact, I know how they could, right? But instead, I don't know why they would choose not to. Maybe you ain't get enough licks yet, right? Or some people, you know, well, are comfortable there, and it's so comfortable, or it might turn and reach for me to get so much licks yet, right? For me to decide, okay, I'm gonna examine things now because everything going hunky dory, you're seeing your neighbor getting thing and punishment, and you thinking he ain't blessed. That's the biggest thing that comes to your mind. But you're not looking at the categories to what the most I say, what it is I go bless you for, what it is, what it means to be blessed. You follow what it means to be cursed or to be punished. Right? Because now the instant gratification mindset is because the Christian just understand the psychological damage or the psychological what do you call it, weapon they could use against you coming against what it is they do, because that now providing a life of comfort for them, right? They could have the mansions, they could have the cars, you know what I mean, at your expense, because once they have a following and they can always sell a dream to you, they'll just continue to use that to continue to keep you coming back to say, well, hey, it'll be your turn too. Remember, that's the leader of the church, you understand? That's the leader of the mosque, that's the leader of the wherever it is, the temple or wherever, the mandir or wherever. All the garbage that we looking forward to, because everybody looking for peace, right? They're looking for comfort, but comfort doesn't come without, you understand? But the comfort that you're looking for is a trap, really, because that doesn't exist. That is not a realistic thing. You're supposed to take comfort in the sufferings that your forefathers and them went through, and knowing that you could do it too. They like to say, right? They have a quote that they like to say that God will give you more than you can carry, right? But you ain't carrying nothing. You ain't understand what it means. You follow to actually live a life, because all your life for 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, is telling you that things will get better. Everything is things will get better. Everybody understand without really understanding. You need a pandemic, people dying left, right, and center, and you still thinking things will have some kind of light at the tunnel. That is to tell you how damaged we is as a people.
Right.
And not saying, okay, this year caused, you understand, this year caused by something bigger than ourselves. Until even go and search it out. They say if they didn't believe, you know, well, they choose not to believe it's the Lord that do it, you understand? Well, then go and see who do it then. Go and see if it was Allah who do it. You understand? Go and see if it was Krishna who do it. Right? Because Christians don't believe that. Christians believe, but they go back to church. That's telling me, you understand, that they don't believe the Bible, they don't read the Bible, they don't understand the Bible. Right? So it's not the same like we now saying, because we always say that we understand that if you're not inside the I.S.U.P.K and the commandment Gen.YAHANNA, there's no way for you to understand what's inside the Bible. Nowhere else is designed that way. The institutions that you're learning from today, you understand, your church and your mosque and your little gathering and all of that is being taught or being pushed on you by your oppressor. Right? Look at the history of where you come from. Your oppressor, you follow your enemy, is the man that had you in slavery. And when you go through what you call race and critical race theory and them different things, and right, the things that they're blocking or they're fighting against for you to understand your history in school, they're fighting for you to get to understand. It's because they're blocking you from understanding what really take place. When you understand what really take place in a situation, then you have a clear picture. But if somebody always telling you, you know what I mean, well, boy, I feel is this and I feel is that, and you know what I mean, and you're doing things a particular way, you know what I mean, and there's only one thing that they could see, they could never understand, and that is why the scriptures have, you know, some guidelines in terms of how to deal with everything, and you not getting a chance to get even any of that. And some people not even looking for it. They'll never look for it. That's just the reality. You understand? Granny and grandpa and all them, you follow that in the church for 30 something years or whatever, and they had the little, you understand, the little contracts here, right? Or the little food this year and the little, you know, benefits here and all of that. They ain't going to try to disrupt that. Yeah. So train how to get raped, train how to get molested. Some of them get molested. Yes, so go ahead.
Yeah, and the way bring out again, so heavy to the point where you know, coming out as society, you know, while you say, we then just look at put and put forward, but I'm knowing that our just as you make mention, they have no place on the table in the Now you're coming up now, and in this society, you know, probably as you say, you might have a little high-end job,
correct,
or a disease in the owner of your business,
correct.
You know, your mindset now transits from that now, feeling that society really accepts.
Thank you.
When really and true, you know, it's something that they know that they put on the table.
Correct.
Instruction from really you,
correct,
really knowing the truth about it.
Correct. And here's the thing about it, and so first the Lord merciful, because you can alleviate that some of we understand that's so selfish. That thinking, you know what I mean? Because I'm a job will continue forever. Right. It's a government job, it ain't stopping, you understand? It's a business, if all of people want these things, they need these things and them. But look at history, and if you would pay attention, it wasn't your grandmother even passed through that area yet. Your grandmother still grew up in that area where there was, you follow where it was, you was the expenditure. You had to pay the price because look at Black Wall Street. We doing good. We ain't touching nobody. We ain't interfering nobody. We looking to rape nobody and killing nobody and I mean keeping nobody thing. If all about they come in here and them once they can get everything that they want, use the easiest target, use the easiest thing to pluck off. You understand? And that is the mind of your oppressor. Your oppressor doesn't stop. The only reason why he not fighting against each other because he has somebody to beat up. That's like a bully, you understand? He going to feel looking for somebody that might give him some challenge because you know his name go get, you understand? That's the point, go get challenged. And now they go take away his power. So he not looking that why they don't go to war with Russia and China every day. These are powers that threaten his ability to do it so that he'll keep a certain level. If all about don't get kicks when they say, well, boy, I want to be the number one in the world. If one of them say, I ain't not taking all that licks, follow, which is that's how wars operate in any case. That's like the job game and all them different things they learn about corporate world and all this garbage. All of them is doggy dog. So them always looking for the tough spot. It's never about you follow a mind way, boy. You know what I mean? That man will have a responsibility as a ruler of our section. Or this woman have a responsibility. You know what I mean? That she that person at the center and a certain money here. You follow all of that is responsibility to distribute to make sure things run as it's supposed to go. That is not the mind of your person because they don't teach that, they don't push that. And if you're not going with that, they follow you ain't going along them lines, they follow is death. It's but truth, you understand? Because you now threatening, you understand, we happiness, we joy. And the only thing is to keep them, you follow, keep them from not thinking about the sins of the people, the sins of the forefathers and the ways that they go out and operate. They wanted pushing on the media, they want child molestation, they want every evil, and everybody want access to do something. So now, when they have too much evil people, they have evil people, you understand, they surround a table and everybody doing what it is they have to do. Nobody can check that one and say, no, but Mr. White Man, but you too evil. You can't go and take all that oil. You understand? You can't tell the child molester to stop child molest. If all I can't tell you, rape, man, you understand? I can't rape. Because he was rights too. Yes, sir, go ahead.
And we bring out again their point because again, everybody has a speech about religion in that one.
Correct.
But the I.S.U.P.K, the speech, Black, Hispanic, and Native in that history.
Correct.
When really and truly that is not about religion. So that's why they could always, as I say, formulate and come up with new ideas, new plans, and how to go about handling the business focus, Black, Hispanic, and Native in
correct.
And only the I.S.U.P.K
correct.
They mention, hey, you don't teach, this is not religion.
Damn right.
What the I first and foremost thing is the highlighting bigger history.
Damn right. You belong to something. This is not something that people could come and buy. You know, so they could think they could be so friendly with you and so kind that they could get some too. There's not that is one of the ways, that is one of the reasons why they hate you too, because they can't do it. You know what I mean? When they say, yeah, can't be them join them, we can't join we. And they can't between either. You understand? Once the Lord back in we and we doing what we're supposed to do and the society runs as it's supposed to, they can't beat it. That proven all the time. The numbers there's no issue neither. They could feel they had the biggest military and all of that. And now as a Christian or a Christian mind, they follow a Christian is Muslim, Buddhist, whatever. You understand? All of that is white supremacy because that is the ruling dominant force on the earth, the wicked force that run the earth right now. There are people mourning and people doing this and doing that and trying to survive and the strongest survive and all of that. That is the mind of the oppressor. That is all of that is Christianity, which is white supremacy. You follow? Black supremacy is a whole different playing field altogether, right? And that is what you have to learn, and that is where your trust coming in the most sign also take away the flesh, because now all you feel in your fall is the burn. The most thing that people just think about one time immediately is my pocket. You understand? My food. You know what I mean? Then the job security, because I like a car and I want a house to live in. You follow? But you could do all of that. You could do all of them different things, and you don't need you to follow after the ways of the oppressor, because he's not your God. That is what he would like to think. That is why the scripture is talking about he exalts himself as God and want to sit on the throne as the Most High. He was never given up that authority. You know, he get you understand the work that to beat me. You follow it, and which is causing more harm, because now with his mind not thinking about restrictions and putting some type of level of discipline to what it is he does do. He don't operate so. You understand? I want to do so, and I bloodthirsty and a machine and then I can tell you're lifeless. That is a brute beast. You understand? He not thinking, you know, I mean, like a human. A human don't think so. You know what I mean? A humane person. I ain't gonna say a human, but a humane person thinking, well, okay, there's a limit. If a lot in terms of how much I go punish you. Right? And that is the mind of the Most High. That is what he always wanted on the earth. But you have lost that. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. I'll tell you straightforward, you don't have it. You would like to think you have it, you follow, but you don't have it. You speak to anybody, you understand? That's Saturday, I think Saturday or Friday, I think Friday. And bounce up some people in the market, right? Some people who just follow after the people and all kind of garbage. But you just ask them simple things and they know that they don't have. You understand? They don't understand the aspect about it. They don't understand how suffering and what it means. You follow territory and actually turn the other cheek and everything. That's not in them, so you can't do nothing in our society with that mindset. And that's the mindset of the oppressor you follow. It ain't go work. Let me get into the scriptures, right? So Baruch chapter 3, verses 6 to 8, Baba Kusha. Lord always wanted to teach you a lesson, you know what I mean? You really wanted to think as a race and not as an individual, you know what I mean? Not to think that, boy, you know what I mean? That I could be so special that, you know, that I could do this because that's the Christian mind. I am saved, and I am sanctified, and I am, and yet is nothing. You know what I mean? Let's say, nothing big enough, you follow? The thing that has pleased the Lord to shine me up is the thing that He really called for. And when you go above and beyond in that same spirit. Is it? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 6. For thou art the most high of power, and thee, Lord, will we praise.
Right.
Salakia.
That's not, I think I had the wrong one. That's not. Baruch. 4 and 6, Salakia. 4 and 6 here. Right.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies.
Right, so because you moved the Most High to wrath, and you, when you had the opportunity to govern yourself, you showing that I wasn't interested. You follow after time and time and time and time. Now, every time that you disobey and you go to the extent of where, you know what I mean, you make your soul abominable to the Lord, and in your mind, and that is what the battlefield is in your mind now, you're turning away from everything that He gave you for your good. You know what I mean? That He's showing that the nation always used to respect and say, boy, look at these people, boy, who are laws like this? Because over in them land, you know what I mean, they're thieving each other, you know something, they're killing each other, it's crazy, you know what I mean? They want them molest children, you know what I mean? You can't live because everything they what you call it, they thing with the law now, you know what I mean? So the thing with the goods and all of that. So the construct that they have is always to destroy one another because again it's doggy dog. And by the saying that way, these people have boundaries by them, but they have ways of how they deal with things. This things are righteous by them, by we check it out as by and them they follow, they now see that and seeing you giving it up then. It's like, you know what I mean? All right, no sweat, because remember they ain't grow up with no boundaries in them. They ain't grow up with that same type of temper or temperance on them. Them is just Lego. Lego to a certain extent with the Lord, you know what I mean? They decide exactly what they do. Right? So the Most High said, yeah, okay, let me send it to brute beast now to see how it actually feels. You know what I mean? And you know, it becomes so common that Mike Brown and all these brothers are dying and you in an uproar. You know what I mean? You ain't thinking by then by these Christian leaders and then that's supposed to be our leaders and look, our brothers dying right there. And you can't even see, first it red. And some of them so fearful, they ain't want to even see nothing. You know what I mean? Let them go across in Ghana and help the Ghanaians and all them different things, and you ain't seeing behind it everything that your pastor always talking about is money. But because he said you had a dream that you're going, the next day you get it better. You know what I mean? And because you're covetousness to the Lord Psalms 10 again, you know what I mean? You like covetousness, I'll give you over to that then, you know what I mean? So that's what it is. So like I said, you don't know Kushan?
Verse 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not unto power, unto
understand? No sweat, yeah, for sure. Because, you know what I mean? Your sacrifice now is everything to please Master. Everything, you know what I mean? The skin teeth and just after the Christian pastor and the horse of the oppressor. You understand? That is a good horse. You understand? Talking about a horse forehead, that is them. That is the Christian pastor self. And you falling right after it. Everything you do to sacrifice is also to please Master. You can't say nothing bad about the oppressor. You can't say them in this country and all of them different things. You watching you like you crazy, like something wrong with you. And you have all the reasons why to point out the damages and the destruction. They follow all the ways that the oppressor them, or the oppressors and what it is they doing to us. And you mad, you understand? You had something not to be wrong with you, or you stir the pot so. Yeah, man, it vexes you, you know. Let's go ahead, Salak, yeah. Now that's it. Next verse, Babukasha.
Verse 8. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
You know, this song never saying that you're biting your hand at failure. You understand? The most I giving you, nursing you, making sure everything to work. You understand? You're well fed and all of that, and you biting the Lord hand. You know what I mean? And going after, the thing is, you going after who's goal, after dreaming. The Lord give you things right here. You know what I mean? Things that keep you, things that keep you, know what I mean? Simple, you know what I mean? Ain't no thing. You want a whole skyscraper for, and you know, a Bentley, and a Maserati, and a Lamborghini, and all them things to kill yourself. And you're killing one another for doing it, you know. Because you know, you understand, you're working in your job and you see them online money and you just hush because I know I make $20,000 a month. If I like AC in all of the rooms, one AC can pour the whole house in it. You understand? But you want AC in all the rooms and you want to, you understand, look like, what is it? With the Jeffersons, keeping up with the Jeffersons. So you want to show everybody, you understand, that way are all the nice things that are on the planet. The Lord have 1,000 cattle on a hill. And you thinking, you know what I mean, that boy, they just, you know what I mean, something, I've got to do some hard work for that and all that. What wrong with the hard work then? But you know, we used to do before, and he wasn't so sick, and he wouldn't have all his lifestyle disease and all of that, because you're always accustomed in doing things and providing things honest with your hand and working wherever the case. We always had employee system, and we are laws on that too, to govern how we operate and all that, you know what I mean, in our nation. You see, if you think about it, you think about the dream necessarily. Really, actually sit down and look at the hours and them that you go into work and all of that. Some of us, you understand, we ain't seeing that. You see him, and you know you're vexed one day when the family member can't make it to the family cookout, and you understand the shoes will bust down and all that. But you can't see Christian. They're so blind and so self-absorbed now. You understand? You can't see that it's because you understand, refuse to speak up or do the thing that right for them to be able to get some, you know what I mean, some enough pay to be able to buy the nice things in them as well. You know, they have to buy. They may even looking for no Maserati. Them just trying to survive. They're trying to, you understand, and have some heat when it that come and they live. But they ain't interested in that. You know what I mean? That is how brutal and how evil it become. You know what I mean? Because the man that's sitting right next to you, you follow, and the child that's sitting right next to you, and the grandparent and the grand, you know what I mean? Now you become the CEO by them, you understand, in my way. And me getting my blessings. Everybody going today Sunday, everybody going back out, you understand? Despite the Lord killing people left, right, and center, you're going back and pulling it out and sacrificing on the devil today. You understand? And your space smile and all that thing and you're wicked inside. Because you have nothing inside here, what you go do again? All you have is what your pressure push on you. You know what you just do? You understand? You just keep about 14,000 Asians on average and flying 90-something thousand, 995,000, you understand, the enemies. But because you'll get, you understand, some type of information and enter to help them keep money and keep power, you understand? So once you can hold that position of oppression, he good, you know what I mean? Them can be child molesters. I mean, he does support child molesters too, 66% at the Catholic Church, 2/3, you understand? And it's on record. The child molesters, they follow. Nobody live in the Catholic Church. Tradition my backside, the comforters come with it. But the Catholic Church have money. If the Catholic Church didn't have money, understand, and prestige and power, and you know what I mean, and make you feel like you're a nice person and God, and you know what I mean, God love the sinner, you understand? God love the sinner and hate the sin and setting your part up. So if let's say God loved the sin and he hated the sin, you follow? What it is you all doing, you follow, to help people stop sinning then? And the Christian Church and the laws are the most done away with. What steps you put in place? Where's the method you follow of eliminating all this child molestation? I'll wait, as they say. I'll wait. You know what I mean? They're not about it. Understand something. You're just going around a circle and you're going. Some people, or majority of people, Lord forbid, majority of people, but some people will just love that. Because you're going, they want them in some way, they want to do something, they want to start cooking, they want to sex horse, you understand? Something that they want to do, and they just say, well, all right, in a nice zone, where everybody go to the blind, everybody go, mind their business. Mind their business, you understand? Yeah, they want to tell you, mind a cow when you try to speak up against. But you're going, the Lord wants you to do that. He created you, understand, to do that. You understand, to speak up against these things. If we want to look out for each other, you know what I mean, to separate from the mind of the oppressor, He wants you to do that. So you can come back to build a government and not think as an individual. You ain't by yourself somewhere, you know what I mean, on some island. You He didn't make individuals. He didn't put you on an island and this is our island here and this is Swapiala island here and this is Galawana. You know, that is not the case. That is not how the Lord is operating. You follow? He wants in a place. That is why you have a body. You understand? A body of people and there are certain things that they do. With that cell, go over to Romans 12, right? You want you to work along with people and understand the difficulties and the challenges so that you'll grow and you get to understand how to be humane, how to think, you understand how to operate, and how to, you know what I mean, to have some compassion and look and understand what long suffering is. But you're not there, you follow, you're not in the place where there is exercise that nowhere in the face of the planet except the UPK. You're looking for the walking Bible, this is where it is. You want to know if the Bible real or not, well, come and see. If all everywhere is showing you how real it is, how destructive it is, if all, but you know what I mean, again, you mightn't like multiple wives. As a man, you might like I don't know around here, but they might like multiple wives, they might like certain things, they might like more marijuana than anything else, you follow? You know what I mean? You might need lung cancer and all of that, but for them that really trying to, you know what I mean, they come off the drugs and the cooking addict with some type of ambition and all that, you know what I mean? And he taking it because life real tough and he just trying to zoom past that. If you're looking for the way you understand to really and truly have somebody to hold you accountable and really keep you straight on, well, and make sure that you know what I mean, that you don't poison up yourself and all that, come to no man. You're looking for tough love, there's some people out there looking for tough love and they just don't know it exists yet. Come to no man, the UPK did also open Caribbean, Central, South America, all in different ways. I.S.U.P.K, big up, I.S.U.P.K Mexico, you understand? Rough tough officer Yashaka, Ban Yashaka, you know what I mean? Straight. You get some tough love, you know what I mean? Some people really need that. I mean, some people would not admit it, that some people that that's what they need and you get it. For sure. You know what I mean? Because you don't know well how the most size you want I'm on a war. Because you create your among nations, they follow, and then you know well how life is and how we create people already. Some people go try to walk over, you understand? And here's where you're going to learn you follow to be harmless as a dove and wise as a serpent. You're not in power right now. You follow, so now you have to formulate with your people and them to get the mindset of how a ruler is think. You know how a nation is think, not as an individual, but how a nation together is think, so that you'll understand what to do. That is why you keep on, you understand, falling, and you want to know well, how the community so and why things think you change, and the politician you waiting for the next politician to rise up with the ideas. This is who the sons of the Most High is. They follow who they're looking for inside of here, under command and Gen .YAHANNA, that is who they is. This is who they're looking for the manifestation of them. The mission to Akun, you understand? Large big ups and huge big ups to Captain Yatazak and the team, you know what I mean? Salute. You understand? I want to get them to American salute and all. First thing, come here, Shala, you understand? Straight, yeah. What? Damn right, I mean. Captain Gadal Gaba, understand the food program, Captain Shumawala, food program, Captain Ogo, mighty Captain Kapash, understand the beating, knock your backside down, you know what I mean? Let your person know. That's just weekend here, you know what I mean? Some devil try to step to them on the camp and playing mad and feel, you know, because he in charge of the society thinks that he could just walk over anybody and do what he wants, you know what I mean? But the laws of them so they're so crafty, but when you understand how to navigate again, being wise as a circle and harmless as a dove, you're going to be able to operate. But they can't get that outside of here, you know what I mean? So you could just end up getting just abused, you know what I mean? Everybody else designed to do that. So, you know what I mean? If you want to explore different options, you know what I mean? We would like to definitely extend the invitation to you. All right?
They make mention of again. That invitation, as I say, here is not a clubhouse.
Damn right.
Here is not a place where you know you can, I just say, you can have that membership. But you can call it for men with the spirit and emotion.
That's right.
Men with, as they say, with lay down the life of the brother. After the example of the king. And that is why, as they say, as they make mention with the brothers in the trip lap.
Right.
And as the generals and then brought it out clear that these men were in that same spirit, willing to lay their life for their brother.
Correct.
Willing to lay their life for the sister, for the family.
Damn right.
Which is the Isha and your brothers.
Correct.
Willing to do that.
And you're going, that's support. First it's so dread, and first we've been short. We really been, you understand, being really. They're stealing everything away from your essence of who you is. You're talking about the greatest nation on the earth for your dying. I like to tell you how it is now. You follow? And if you are sacrificing and doing certain things, then that's how dread it is. How reduced we is, other people say like, right? So, you know what I mean? We can't really grasp these things and then really gravitate to that and learn how to do it more and become more that, you know what I mean? Really and truly look at that. We'll go to that just now too. Genesis right after the Romans 12 publication. Romans 12, verse 4 to 10. The real performer number one, when this thing and them, that was second nature to people and them. After time, all the legends and them inside the scriptures, like, you know, because Romans 15 and 4 again, what are written for learning that you go have patience and comfort in the scriptures. Right. That way again comfort from her. Right. Knowing by this how we just do it. This is we. You know what I mean? We know weak people and fear this and that and you know what I mean? And the condition in your mind now can give you the tools. You gotta fast, you understand? You gotta spend time with them, you know what I mean? You gotta spend time to really work along your brothers and get the value for your brothers. And you start to prefer one another, and then you can mix with everybody and do what it is you have to do. Now again, the real hands-on how it is really operates. So now you condition your mind, your spirit, everything, your soul change into that. You know what I mean? That is how you're gonna do it. You still go ahead.
As we always say, the easiest thing to do is to pick up our gun and kill your brother.
Easy.
But to really, as I say, pull on that way.
Correct.
Fight the demon.
Correct.
Go up against it. Fight your loss.
Correct.
Your lustful desires. Fight that. Fight that.
Right.
And die way, as they say, will shoot. Where strength is and where weakness
Correct. Correct.
Because now I just said, but the plans that wherever.
Is it?
And more than yeah.
Like the monster thing. Do you understand monster thing? Correct. Right. Correct. Right. Let's see how much strength you have. Correct. That's right. Correct. And that's what that essential. You see, we bring the real heavy because brothers and them really actually they will to the test. Then you'll see a salafia. Understand? Forget to put this damn thing on meeting. How say that thing? Right? Yeah, you call it back later. Remember that. Right? They call it now. Look how it is, but brothers ain't really thinking on that level, you know what I mean? Like I real bad, I real bodies, you understand? I could kill real people. I know that they probably went to do shoot real bad, you know, to manage real like could shoot, you know what I mean? Like crazy. You know what I mean? They probably could shoot maybe better than the man, you know what I mean? And all that, but that's long time since they're small, 9 years old, 10 years old, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Especially in Central and South America, what's this place again? The whole place, a real bad ghetto in Venezuela. I don't remember the name. Anyway, yeah, all them the families and them when youth men grew up and they have to survive and really actually there's hungry belly. So you know, every way they teach you now is to really, you know, kill each other because the white man, the oppressor, you follow him, make sure that your economy is so destroyed that you ain't see no way, you know what I mean, other than eating the weaker man next to you when really actually they didn't bound for that. Because if you was prepared, you know what I mean, and had that mind, now when you pull, you understand the carpet on there. You follow your ground solid, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing. You pull, you feel it was swampland. You was walking on all the time. We are comfy. You can keep your red carpet. You didn't bound for that. You follow if we get it, you understand? So be it, whatever the case is. But you pull your sanction, go ahead and put your sanction, no problem. You know what I mean? But you just go though, you know what I mean? That what is happening with the white man, the oppressor, you know what I mean? You just feel like he's God on the earth, so you're gone. When I shut down thing, you can't get no gas. You were there, you know what I mean? You can start out and die, no. There's are people they follow that you're supposed to be following, and the Lord sent them on the planet, and they walk the same exact way as your forefathers and them. Everything that you could find, that you could experience in terms of difficulties and all of that, all the records right here to show you how we used to handle it. The right there you follow, but you don't know that. So now all you're thinking about is again, you know, because that become your God now. You know, because you're thinking as an individual because you don't understand that nation. The Chinese, I mean, thinking like that. They had the Chinese Association, then they had China and them going against them. Look at that people living in America, like Chinese. You feel them worried, you know what I mean? Look at the kind of mind they have. They might be worried, but they're not to that extent then. So we're seeing them, you know what I mean, running like headless chicken, and they're running down by the center. They get something because they have a structure in place. Right. They can get support and all that, but now you ain't even thinking about that. If somebody come and tell you about black, you understand, black people and black love, you want to know, you know what I mean, like black love mean white hate, you understand, and white destruction and absolute war against them and killing and picking up gun and things. No, it don't mean that. You understand? You hate all the ways of the oppressor. You don't have to do not one thing. You follow? That's the thing. They fashion you because they fashion you to think so because that's how they just operate. They know when they mean hate, they mean, you understand? Which is the word? What we supposed to do? Exodus, abhor. You know what I mean? To abhor you. Abhor means, you understand, like going to do something evil. No, that is not what it means. The Lord, you understand, the Lord hates exactly what it is they do and he'll punish you for it. to show you how much he hated, you understand? But he didn't want to show you. Use, you understand? Use the appeal here, use the people that we're supposed to make it greater if you say that, let people understand that they have a power. Not because you ain't seeing it with your canal eye, you feel to do it as you want to do. I represent them because I know how really it is.
Right.
And what he does do, you understand, on a regular basis. Every day that thing running and all that, I understand the circuits and certain things. And mind be, you understand, as wise as Solomon, you show them the circuits and the winds and this and the stars and all that, but I understand simple things that can't control without that power. And because I connected to him, you understand, that them records and them tied to my soul itself. I attached to a body, you understand, to a nation of people and not an individual. You understand? I wasn't even given the choice at birth to be an individual because he didn't make things so. You know what I mean? For you to destroy your damn self thinking of some blasted individual. It's like it's a great publication.
Romans, all right?
12 and verse 4 publication.
12, you say?
Yeah, cancel, yeah. Slack.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 4. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office.
Plenty people in a nation, they follow in a body, follow any master, you understand? The master teacher, the man himself, the big man, you understand? King Yahawashi, the future ruler of the planet, you understand? The whole thing, the whole place on lockdown. That's the man. And one body, you understand, you have many members, plenty people to do certain things. They follow plenty different talents and all that. A company, the same thing. A government, the same thing. We are government in exile. We the people are supposed to be on any planet. We was doing it before. The Lord gave us the opportunity and we did it. We followed and we did it. And followed His instruction, we did it to perfection. As it's supposed to go. But now with all that, now you're getting to see what it means to be the opposition. And not opposition in parliament. You understand? Opposition on the planet. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates Israel. And Chris, yes sir, go ahead.
Verse 5. So we being many, right, are one body in Christ, and every one member one of another.
One of another, not an individual. All of we is a team. Yes sir, go ahead.
Having the gifts, differing according to the grace that is given to us.
You understand? So the most I give you someone to know to come back and learn what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So you give some gifts. You know what I mean? You have a man an eye for this, you know, for this, but you know, along the lines, so forth and so on. Go ahead.
Whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the portion of faith.
That is all they could do. You understand? Prophesy according to that. Don't try and go above your means and thing and put something in your mind at the end there. No, that is not it. According to what does he teach you to do? Prophesy according to that. You know what I mean? The Lord show you something and this is what it is. He say, well, bam, this is what it is according to the Spirit of the Lord. Again, according to your portion, according to faith, you faithful and you believe that this is what's going to happen. That is the only thing you can do. And talk. You're supposed to do. And talk. Yes, so go ahead.
Our ministry, let us wait on our ministering.
Right, so that is what the call is now for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. They got yourself to come and learn what you're supposed to do, learn how to think, and then the Lord will show you how to identify certain things. What your ministering is, you follow your services then. Right, where you're going to do that, and if it's help in this department, you're going to help in that department, and you just do it because that is what you're designed to do. It's not, you know what I mean, I come and I work, you know what I mean, I call it, you know what I mean, for half the year, and then I take half the year off, and them kind of thing. It's not that type of mission, you follow? It's something that continues to circulate. And if you understand how your body is work, you follow, or how a car is work and all of that, everything has to be running in synchronization. As it's supposed to go, and that is how it will run as it's supposed to, you know what I mean? And that is what it's designed to do. All right, so it ain't nothing to say, well, it's a big burden and all that. Christ tell himself, and Christ in line. I mean, Christ is the representative of the Most High. That's the mouthpiece of the Most High and when he was walking and as he's speaking in his records here. And the men that influenced by him, that's the same thing they're showing here. But that's the proof. He said, come and take up my burden light, you follow? It ain't not the dangers, you follow, when you come in and the stresses then, you follow, that you go face to say, well, boy, nah, boy, look at how much regret I have by that, boy. You know what I mean? Look, I should not take up this sin, you follow? That is not Christ coming to tell you. Coming straight forward, you have a price to win at the end of the day. This road ain't easy. You follow, but it's simple to follow. You know what I mean? It's simple. I put men above you and all of these different things. Nothing too complex. But I can't figure it out and I can't give you the answer and all that. I show you exactly what to do. You have a roadmap. You do it, you follow to the best of your ability, then when I come back, I'll give you a crown. You'll get that reward for your reward is sure, not might happen. You know what I mean? And you have a 401k and then they're gonna invest your money in some bad deal and get some kind of excuse. If all I'm instantly fine printing and that time you fine printing 2 days ago. You didn't look any fine printing, you know what I mean? Majority of people came up for a lawyer to go and check out the things before they sign a contract to do the job and all them garbage. You follow some sacrificing the devil, that's what you're trying to tell you. You follow? And put you understand your mind state in terms of obeying the Lord and doing what he tell you to do, you follow, and to ensure that that is priority. Everything else secondary, but what it is you're doing here is to help your nation come back to being as they're supposed to. Right? Again, many members in one body. The same spirit. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Or he that teacheth on teaching.
Right.
Verse 8. Or he that exhorteth on exhortation.
Exhortation,
Exhortation,
in the book.
He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity.
With simplicity, you know, you follow? Because now you ain't thinking high-minded, you know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes the man only does stand, you follow your only money. You follow the other come to me, like the big man and they know that. The most you follow give a man a portion, a woman a portion, you follow to do something with simplicity, not to provoke people, and not to have that type of high proud and destroy your own spirit. I know you do it for you follow you give. You know, the whole world not to know you give, you follow. The Lord will ensure that He make the world know, you understand, that I with this man. You follow, I go protect him because my arms and how I deal it, you follow, I go honor the sacrifice. Just like your other brothers and them in the scriptures here, and you follow your name, a renowned name. Yes, sir, go ahead.
He that ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness.
You understand the man that rule with diligence, because now when you're over, you understand departments and people and all of that, they follow the things and them that they'll encounter. You have to be diligent. It's called to be diligent, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is, you know what I mean? You're called for that. Right? So now you're thinking along them lines because the most I entrust me to do something. If all I know that I have the ability, I have to go, you understand, and put in the work to get, you understand, out the result that is necessary to ensure things run as it's supposed to, because remember, it's a body again, it's not just an individual. So you know, you're not thinking like an individual. So you can stop and pause, you know what I mean? They say someone attacking you, and if someone attacking you to way to destroy your ability to function in our body, you understand, you'll have to cut it off. You understand, give it a break or find a way to deal with it properly. There's certain things, I mean, they say at the end, you're working in a job and you're going to need to pay your rent and you're going to need to do certain things, they follow, but the way it is operating and all of that, you got to look, you understand, long term. It mightn't be now, you might get the job that you're applying for, you might not have qualifications to get something better, to be able to continue to support your family and do certain things and contribute to the body and all that. It might take 6 months, it might take a year, but you have to place your mind there and trust the Most High process, but you have to do it. Because now you're thinking long term, but you're not thinking as an individual again, you have to think as an entire race, you know what I mean? So the preparation got to take place, you know what I mean? Because nothing is overnight. It ain't happening like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. It's like it's go ahead.
Verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation.
You understand? Don't love be portion out to this one here against them, you know what I mean? And this one again, before and all of that. Let love before us the same thing with mercy. Let your mercy be, you understand, with that, cheerfulness. So now you have to have mercy on somebody you follow, they got vibrating you and all of that, but be cheerful again. You know what I mean? And sometimes it mightn't be that way because they ain't mature well enough yet and you don't know what it is. You know what I mean? And when you're tested, you'll know in terms of how it is supposed to improve on, because you know what will be reminding you, the Lord will send, you understand? Will ensure that the same thing you read before, you know what I mean? Or Satan, he will come and try to tell you the same way. And then you'll see exactly what I need to improve on. And guess what? You ain't coming here to beat up yourself and all that. You say when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul to be tempted. You don't have nothing in it. You're empty. You understand? It doesn't make a noise outside here. The people stand up on the road is empty vessel, making the most noise. Yes, sir.
When you go into the Christian church, they'll teach you the opposite.
Correct.
Prepare your soul to love everyone.
Blessing. Yeah. Correct.
So now, and they say
right.
to be tempted, but now you prepare you to
correct.
love everybody.
That's it.
Every race, every
Yeah.
this, every that,
Right.
and not doing it, yeah, embrace it, and maybe that
Correct.
everybody coming and show you know, hey, I didn't know he was like this.
Right.
I didn't know he was like this.
Yeah.
So why?
You love everybody. I mean, right?
Because I'm not understanding your records, and again, your mind wrap on religion,
Yeah.
that's why I just say, make your care determine who is the enemy
Correct.
from who is not the enemy.
That's it. That's it. Correct.
Because now you embrace everything, when you embody everything.
So, Paul,
Yeah.
everything you follow that comfortable.
That's
That
right.
I can get a meal from. And it's not that I get a smile and a pat on the back from. I mean, some people just go and I mean to the churches and them, that's to feel some type of form of relief, and that ain't true. Because now you see the hard work and the people who not getting defended on them, you on the side of them. You know what I mean? Them getting all the lyrics of the world, them on the side of the road. You know, some people might be thinking, you know, if I support them, they might put me on the side of the road too. And they ain't willing to do that, you know what I mean? So what? If the Lord don't say something already, see, they don't think nothing, you know what I mean, to make a poor man rich. Let's see, Lord, you feel, let's see, you get put out of your job and all them different things, right? And you have to go make it. So you think you have to go on the side of the road, that's the only thing. But when you belong to a body, you follow in a member, the Lord don't leave you, the servant of them wanting bread and begging and them kind of different things now. You'd already be contributing now, especially if you have been around for a little bit and you understand certain things. Now you have, you know what I mean, certain things in gear for yourself, and you do in the entire, you understand, body, you follow you as you being part of the body, you know, basically that you have access to what it is you need to be able to continue to survive and all that, you know what I mean? And you don't hold in your talents, like you say, you be long for long to say, well, you know, you don't for 5 years and all them different things now. And you're going to be on the road, you're going to be suffering on the ground because, again, you're thinking as an individual, not as an entire body. If your entire body you follow, the Lord and say as a principle, you understand, that one can't have one. You understand, you got two and then a three, four cord easily broken. Right? So you're among your brothers and sisters you follow. You contribute, you continue, you understand, to be a part of that, and you always have a place to stay, always have a meal to eat, always have something to do. If all just as a community does need this and do that, and you will find, man, you tell yourself, you ain't gonna be teaching 10, 20 hours a day. You're sure about that? You understand? You go find something to teach somebody, go find a way. If all just stop giving your person some money and give you something, you know what I mean? Something to do. You got things. It's just you're not thinking as an entire race. You follow it, it's sad, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you had a really actually you gotta laugh, you understand it, and you gotta be a little bit cheerful of what it is befalling you as a race, other people. You know what I mean? Because it's only because now when you're waking up to certain things, it then gonna be that strenuous in your mind. You understand? You got the right type of sorrow. You understand? You got the sorrow because of what is happening to people and what we're facing. Because we don't understand certain things. But in terms of it bogging you down and you're pressured and you know you're frustrated and all that, that ain't gonna be there. But now you're taking comfort in the records, you're reading it and knowing what the end result of it is. You know what I mean? Now you're wise. Now you're wise enough to certain things. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the one as the general movement, and I guess we were taught in the last class, you know,
Right.
when you're breaking up concerning, you know, with the man that was entrusted with this fellow Hawaii, the master business now.
Right.
And it shows you now, as they say, it shows you the example of these religious leaders.
Correct.
As they say, they might tell it is, they might, as they say, let me say for some reason, they say let the people kneel.
Right.
But then now some come and happen now. What do we do now? We can not eat this.
Right.
They eat pork.
Correct.
They eat crab.
The Muslim and them, yeah. Correct.
So now because now you realize now that hey, you do something wrong.
Right.
You're wasting your man's sabbath. Now hey, showing you know, and as you see the example, them break walks and
right.
Yes, I'm going
yes.
I watch them look at that. Yes, sir, yeah, man. That's right. Yes, sir, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, you are this business running,
right?
But now, because now, as I say, we have lost that seat,
right?
As I say, you decide now to say, hey, now let me go ahead and do it.
You understand?
Because now the people know will do what? Go come on.
Yeah, I mean, so my money.
So now they go high, you know, now easy one,
correct.
When ready to be falling out.
Correct, that's it. I'm right. And that is what sacrificing on the devil is.
Yeah.
So you see, all the people in them that is watch things and sweep it under the rug, they sacrificing the devils to Satan. You follow? Satan himself, you know what I mean? Now people like this like to go and have Satan in this big thing, this man on the ground with fire. That is spirit, you understand? Satan's spirit, that evil angel, you follow? When you just come to class and learn a bit more about this man, this adversary of yours. You follow? But that same spirit is in your pastors and them, because that is in the oppressor himself. And he's the man, he's the father of the pastors and them. When Christ talking about in John 8 and 44, and understand your father the devil, and after the lust of your father you go do, yeah, that's how you separate. So everybody want to sacrifice them because it's simple now, you can remember them in power. You know what I mean? So they have the majority of things. They follow, but you don't understand something. If push come to shove, right? White supremacy again is because boy, I gonna take care of me alone. You understand? They think that individuals, brute beasts, no morals, no compass, no restraint. Then that they follow, so now they're gonna make sure that they take care of themselves. They will love the family or the mother, the child, understand? That baby could now come out 2 seconds ago and let he be jammed up and see how going with that baby. What baby? what baby? You understand? What child? I'm interested in that then. No, because they have no character, they have strength in it. You follow and you understand that there's a nation that have a power. You follow in charge of life and all of these different things. Now you're thinking that, hey, I understand I'm going to sow as an individual among a nation. I'm going to sow the things to ensure that my nation, you follow, can benefit from it. Am I not sure? You understand? And all the different things, but they're thinking as a nation because I want the nation in a better place. That's why Daniel and them are so great. And all these different men and them. Some men might not sure, but they're thinking about the entire race, you know what I mean? And that's how you're supposed to think now. Because you're contributing on to the well-being of the entire race. Nobody else care about us. They're showing you all the time. They're showing you plain and simple, right in front of your face. George Floyd, you understand? Mike Brown, the sister and all, you know what I mean? This is that was when an apartment she chucking game, she playing game, boom, 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 that. Meet her right there, you follow? And they ain't supposed to be, you know what I mean? Not because she might be was wicked or a lesbian or something like that, we don't know. And that's not how the Muslims operate either, you follow? He wanted to see the bigger picture, which is the entire race. The entire race in again, the entire earth could be in again. Nobody can be warned, you know what I mean? Nobody can be saying, nobody, look at the kind of thing we have to face. And sanctions here because, you know, them have enough child children to molest, you know what I mean? Enough mansion to hide money, you know what I mean? And enough fruits to store up and all them different things. And if they didn't wake up comfortable about a certain situation, somebody will die. You know why? We know that's the truth because them school shooters and them always do. What they do after when they go and shoot up people and them, they go to McDonald's. They get a nice happy meal, they follow and they go and be protected in the prison. And they go and fight for them to get a lower jail sentence. Because they show you who they love, they follow and what they support. That's more important than anything else. And if you go against that, you know what happens with you? Destruction, you follow? You go like, you know what time it is, but the most high power, you understand? He wanted to fear the man that he was going to send you back in a worse condition than it is before. Because what you're supposed to be working on is the entire race, the entire nation coming back to power, coming back to a better position all together. And not because when you come back, you know what I mean? Or thinking, well, okay, I go live as best as I could for now. Because I going to take care of the people that you think you love. If you're thinking of the entire nation, you don't love your family. You don't love your relatives, you don't love your grandmother and all that, you're lying to yourself. You don't love them. You know what I mean? Because you ain't putting in, you know what I mean, the things in them to ensure that we're in a better mind state. You know what I mean? All together. Without a better mind state, you can't do nothing. So what you think you'll do. It's just what it is. And you have to be rich to that. You have to be a billionaire, you have to be a multi-millionaire, you have to be all that. You get it? You ain't setting your heart in it. Right? You go read that later on too. So like I said, go ahead, Bob Kisha. Who is?
10.
Verse 10, Cancer.
The book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. Be kindly affectionated one to another with brotherly love. In honor, preferring one another.
Right. So now you're thinking, you know what I mean? Hey, and the thing is, you're watching it and you're thinking it's so gay. That, you know what I mean, that you're holding a door for a man or some kind of thing. You talking about that, you know what I mean? Or you always smile with everybody and good morning, you understand? And you think talking about that. And what inside of your core, You follow when the time come, you know what I mean? That yeah, they make a sacrifice here, bam, this is what you go do. Let me thinking of your people and them, so no, all right. You know what I mean? I'm doing this over the cases now. I prefer my people and them, they understand that they can benefit from it too. Or I thinking I prefer them, so I wouldn't do some shipping. So that now we understand that they will face the penalty, you understand, that my stupidity. Right? So that is what it means to prefer one another. Right? On both ends, it's a both spectrum. And they don't teach you nowhere, they don't teach that nowhere else because they all don't do it. If they used to teach it, you follow it, they'll do it. The mud fellow men and all kind of thing with the pledge. National pledge, and nobody doing that. They are your training, raising up and speaking lies. It's like the person nobody speaking lies, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing you do. So now they having them in school and they say the pledge and this and that, and they ain't doing nothing like that. But look at the ghettos and they call them me pests. Well, I'm supposed to be working together with my fellow men for the every creed and race find an equal place, and the ghettos in shambles. What talking about? If all us they are you lying comfortable, and you just know all of that. Nah, I ain't seen no pledge. I ain't if all of if Lord forbid, you understand, we call them sister who about dying whoever the cases, and my nephew and them at the left with me, you understand, ain't seen no pledge. Sorry, sorry, I don't encourage my nephew and them in lies. Yeah. Yeah, and all kind of garbage to respect a 500-year-old country. You know, put that there, if all trying to put something on me, but all in like going East Indian Day, culture and all them different, but you want me to accept that? I don't care if they Lego their culture. At the end of the day, don't tell me I have to Lego mine. I don't have to do that. You understand? If you want to make break it. Yes, sir. Right.
Always talking about equal place and equal place.
Right.
Condition.
Yeah. But we equal place. And how long they say now? About 50 years? So what? We ain't seen no adjustments to say, well, they're not making the change. 50 anniversary, you understand? 57 years. Talking that garbage, man. Oh, yeah. Some people, you understand, game all your country, call you and tell you a bunch of lies and all them kind of shit. It's not. I don't know the entire race. I don't know who calling themselves man and who calling themselves woman, and they say they're real bad. And put your father and your child, father and child support, all kind of garbage. You understand? And you can't tell people, you understand that you don't have to obey? No. You don't have to do them nothing. You have to break no law. So you understand, to say no to that and to say yes to the Most High, to serve the Most High. I think one of the brothers, my dad, general or captain, one of the captains was bringing that out yesterday. Said, America, you understand, you have to break no laws to serve the Lord. To do nothing the Most High say to do, you follow? Yeah. The laws that they have is based upon us, you understand? It's based on our righteousness. Based upon our laws, you understand, the righteous laws that we have here, that's what they're using today. To govern themselves, to try to govern themselves.
As we say in that time, the Levites who the biblical priests that
right.
Underneath the
yeah.
going through all of that, and they would have gathered the Jews and all the laws from the side, and you know, having these
correct.
On that and in this condition.
Correct.
And they put all the laws from inside that.
Right, damn right. But now Psalms I think 94 and 20, and as they make laws to create mischief. And as I see how much I could pull again. All the private prison system I find mistaken. I think it's majority. I want to misquote them, but movie I sure about 70% or something close to that. The majority of prisons is private prison owned.
Yeah.
You follow? Now brothers, if brothers was thinking, you follow, and they wasn't thinking of individuals like Michael Jordan, he's a billionaire. We're supposed to be you looking at invest in prison system, you sacrificing the devils. We give your soul over to that for you, don't give them how much years of your service in basketball is a job. You understand? You're collecting pension, man. Be yourself, nobody. You understand? One thing about your people and them think about your race. Them thinking like that, like a scoff and planet for a scoff. You only want to eat out until it's done. Yum, yum, yum. You understand? Man, stop thinking stupid yet. And think about your entire race. Something at all. The more you survive in your race, when you invest in your own people and them, you follow, you showing that you love yourself. People them in love themselves. Things of Zakobal and me had a nice little small discussion. He bring up the speed to certain things, you know what I mean? I like that. This discussion for brothers and started giving credit to you know what I mean? That's the man that plug in, you know what I mean? You'll get info in our head too, you know what I mean? And that's what you'll get. Like we're supposed to get in our body, you know, you follow? When you're outside, nobody looking out for you. They don't even have the idea how to even start to look out for you then. Or to, you know what I mean, to show you exactly, okay, bam, and go in scriptures and only read together. You can't get the spirit of that, and that's where it's supposed to be iron sharpening iron. But you understand, you outside there and you use wood and it's rubbing on you and it's destroying you every time you follow, and you getting smaller and smaller like a piece of wood, like a chip of wood. Until they get destroyed, until they shoot you down, until you're on drugs, you understand? Until you're destroyed, basically, until you're homeless, until you have a lesbian, until you have a disease, you understand? You have herpes and all them kind of different things, or HPV or some of them things, and them until you destroy. Nobody interested in your well-being. Yes, sir. All right. Genesis chapter 22, verse 1 to 14. Look at how you're supposed to be thinking, normal. No long Isaac, you know, no long Abraham. You understand? No long Abraham do so and China make child. No long. But let me just show you in terms of what the scriptures talking about. Let me show you. Let you see what the scriptures showing you in terms of some of the ways before fathers had to know that this is something that common. Genesis 22, Bob Bishop. Say again, Bob Bishop. Verse 1. Yeah, 22 and 1, Bob Bishop.
Book of Genesis, chapter 22 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass,
right,
after these things, that the Most High did tempt Abraham,
right,
and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here am I.
Understand? When you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation, you know what I mean? Because the Lord will tempt men, like how you're thinking like this, you follow? The Lord, you know, he will try you, and you're going, Satan is the tempter of the brethren. So Satan coming to the Lord and saying, Abraham, don't serve you for nothing. That's like you do with Job. That's always the story, you understand? That's why I can talk so, because the scriptures just talk so. You follow? Your pastor reading the Bible and you don't understand the Bible. He just always trying to pick out something that will suit himself, because that's the way of the oppressor. Any way that could make him seem as he's a righteous man, and you understand what he's talking about, anything to serve himself, you follow, that is what he'll look for. That's the same thing with your pastors and your imams and all of that. All of them that they try to formulate is nothing against, and nothing to challenge them. When the challenge, you understand the belief and what they form allegiance to. But the Muslim and them, when they quote some of the scriptures, they're looking for some way to suck up to the Arabs and them. They get some of that oil money, you understand? They get some type of support. Never, you understand? Never towards they actually, and those they actually challenging themselves and the whole community to be better. Never that. Always information. When you look at the basis of things, it's not that. Intellectual gain and to feel like there's something, you know what I mean? And they have this doctorate and never that. They can't do it because it's against the scriptures, you know what I mean? Once they are against the scriptures, then they can't live a righteous life.
Right.
That's what you go ahead.
Verse 2. And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son.
Yeah, two sons or one? Oh.
Only son.
An only son, yes, sir.
Isaac, whom thou lovest,
right,
and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of.
I thought Christians love God and they love the Most High, you understand? The son, the child that they love is. Here they start with that Christian. Some of them might hate the child so much, they might quicker, they might run. And you know what I mean? Be so happy to go and do it. But nah, this man, you know the sacrifice that they take, you follow? And also the pains that will come by his age too. You know what I mean? So all these sacrifice that you know going and putting into your son now to raise your only son. You know you really love this boy, you pray to the Most High, all kind of different ways. People, you imagine you would come in the same by if I want to be wicked, by ask something around in the back there, you know, come here and shit. And you don't come here.
The scripture has laid it is all long now. Because now we man now we see it and it's a command. And show you what really love is now.
Right.
Now this is a command. And that's why I will say praise God for the fire and say, Lord,
right.
keep my word.
Commandments.
So this is a command. So no, this is not the love as we say in all laws.
Right.
But no, he ain't a command. He ain't a command from
the Most High God.
The Most High.
That's right.
He's following after instructions.
Correct.
Because now since he knows himself, he following them instructions.
Of course, yeah.
But now to do what to turn away, no one following it.
Correct.
Because now as I say, I love him. But I love him through what? Through these commands.
That's it. Correct. Correct is right.
Command from above. Instructions passed down.
Damn right. Correct is right.
Yeah.
Abu Kashar, you read on here? Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and saddled his ass
Mm-hmm.
and took 2 of his young men with him.
Mm-hmm. So Abraham was no pauper. Abraham hadn't servants and all that, right? So a man now rich, imagine that, and that is showing you something in terms of the mindset of how you're supposed to be thinking. You love your son, you understand? You love him too bad, you follow? But you love the instruction that the most high more. As we now talking about it, just not, you know, bring it up, you know what I mean? You go follow that 30, right? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And Isaac his son,
Right.
and clave the wood for the burnt offering,
Mm-hmm.
and rose up and
Mm-hmm.
went unto the place which the Most High had told him.
Right.
Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass,
Mm-hmm.
and I and the lad will go and worship, and come again.
Right.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac, and he took the fire
Mm-hmm.
and a knife, and they went both of them together.
Normal.
And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood,
Mm-hmm.
but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?
So Isaac, you want to know who is, you know, we are custom, you know, offering sacrifice and all that. So with the lamb for the burnt offering, that known as Isaac is the lamb for the burnt offering, you know what I mean? Or what people would think that Abraham is a madman, you know what I mean? Abraham thing, and Abraham is not a carnal man. Abraham is a spiritual man. You understand the Most High. Even if they follow that this was something that he had to do, he would stay just going through with it because not even going through with it. You understand? He obeyed 30. And he ain't trying to fluster up, you know what I mean? Trying to buck against it in his mind, you know what I mean? Boy, what is man gonna make me take my child, but my only child, but you know the kind of sacrifice I face to get this child, but you know? He ain't thinking so. You understand, you know what I mean? That Isaac would come back. I will come back, you follow? That mind of reincarnation and having the people in a better place, such as obeying the Most High, to ensure that will happen. He doing that. You know what I mean? It mightn't be in this generation. Imagine Abraham seeing what John and them seeing from quite down the road. And knowing the wickedness that's going to be falling on that. They follow and still decide why I go do this for the betterment of my future generation. Because I know we go rule again. Yeah, imagine that. And see all that. Yes, so go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham said, My son, the Most High will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering.
Mm-hmm.
So they both went.
But we shall read on. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, so go ahead.
And as you know, as the question was asked, it was so right. He didn't tell a lie, as you say, try to bamboozle the thing, as you said, the youth man nine, to make them feel like they need to be confused.
Right.
Because this is what following, because they provided us all these times.
Right, correct.
So you provide, so you didn't tell a lie.
Right.
So, verse 9. The book of Genesis chapter 22 and verse 9. And they came to the place which the Most High told them. Abraham built an altar there.
Right.
And the lad laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him upon the wood.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Most High called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon upon the lad, neither do anything unto him.
Right.
For now I know
So
thou fearest the Most High, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. Verse 13.
And the already naturally. Alright, what are you, man? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Read over I think we was going to 10 or 11.
11.
Alright, read over Babakisha. No, I'm what 10. That's 11, yeah.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Most High called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I.
Right.
And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do so thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest the Most High,
Right.
seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, from me.
Right. Understand? Abraham proved equality. You know what I mean? Straight. Babakisha, yeah, one Babakisha. I had one before, you know, but I did do an next one Babakisha, yeah. I thought that again. Yeah, so Abraham proved equality, you know what I mean? Show well, when the instance come up, whether I'll choose myself or the Most High, he made the right choice, you know what I mean? And that is the mindset of how we're supposed to think now. So that again, yes sir, right? And that's what the Lord calling for, to understand that, hey, because when you do that now, on that level, you do on a smaller level. You know what I mean? Because that is what we call extreme brotherhood, right? So when you face with a small challenge, you do the same thing, you get nothing else but do what you've been practicing. And that's what the Lord was trying to show, you understand? Us as a nation. That is why you leave them extreme, you understand? Examples are what it is I want for people to think about. You know what I mean? So you thinking like no individual, you know you're safe and secure in the body, you know what I mean? Regardless of if it's ghetto, whatever, you understand? Famine and all kind of different things. You know what I mean? You tell me that? Straight.
So like yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
One big point I'm young officer, so I bring it up, right? That kind of touch from another perspective. And the mistake a lot of people does make, and they do be in the truth. And you prepare an commandment generally, and you will understand this. Some people had the mindset as though they're working to get in the kingdom. And that is the spirit they can't carry, because that make a lot of bad moves.
Correct.
So the generals and them always teaching your behavior. And how you operate must be that as if you're already in the kingdom. Because you're in the kingdom, because the kingdom and the Musa is in you.
Correct.
So when you're making decisions, right, and you're operating, you know, on a daily basis, whether you're doing the work or whatever the case it might be, you must have in your mind that you're in the kingdom.
You belong to
our body and a nation, and people, they belong to our government.
Correct.
And once you're thinking and behaving now, we are like a perfect set of scriptures that we want with Abraham, then you're going to operate in bigger and different.
Correct.
You're not operating like you're trying to get in.
Correct.
So trying to get in is operating with behaviors, with loopholes and strategies and techniques.
Right.
But a man that thinking and operating as if he in the kingdom, then you're going to operate the right way.
Correct.
Then you ain't doing all this sliding like the white man.
Correct.
You're in a kingdom.
That is it.
So you're going to behave as a king and as a priest.
That is it. So you have a role and function, and that don't stop. And you know, as you're talking about the other day too, you know what I mean? Like people feel, you know what I mean, like is like what Christians are teaching. A buying, you know, if all and then I get a free pass forever.
Yeah, all them fake Israelite group like
you know what I mean?
Like to bring up to see that
That's
like having leadership and guys you trying to form some kind of something.
Correct.
But being a person in mindset of the kingdom, you know, it's on one head.
Correct. That's it.
One mind, one spirit, and one judgment. So everything will trickle down the right way because as I say, it's a government.
Correct.
Christ laid certain principles, and it's the same thing how to go down the road.
That's it.
Nobody ain't coming up with no plan in between. And plans in between is the errors we see before fathers making in the scripture.
I'm right. Correct.
So that is a real excellent.
Correct. Thank you, Saint Christ. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Right.
Also, so kind of the exact scripture, right? Initially, time when Christ was chastising the scribes and the Pharisees, because he was saying that the paying tithes in Anis.
And it's a small thing. Yeah. Right.
They're trying to buy it away. Forgiveness now.
Correct.
Or buy it away and say, he's a good one. Most people will bless me because, are paying.
Yeah. Nice thing that. My thing that's smelling good. And yeah.
In the kingdom. When he already, as from a couple of us, he's already in the kingdom.
Yeah. Correct.
So they develop the attitude.
That is all.
And the thing is, the men that understand that, you don't have to tell them bring. You understand? They bring in it because they understand exactly what is trying to get at. That is what, you understand, the kingdom would be built on.
Right.
If all the kingdom is, I should say, Salaki, which is the right thing. The kingdom is that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not, you understand, bringing fruits meat for you, and then somebody had to force you, you understand, to fight up to gain line and do the things that take. Because exactly, and there's this sweet thing about reincarnation too, thinking about it, right? Because now when you're sowing now, you follow it because you're thinking about the entire race and how it is operate.
That's right.
Not how we trying to operate, or you know what I mean? We might be able to operate some way, no. That's how we just operate and follow. So now you're learning everything and to ensure, you know what I mean, that you teach the people I'm after you, or you spread that now to eliminate, you know, some all the lies that we've been told and lie and you know and they just spreading all the time.
Right.
I mean, remember there's two forces, you understand? So now everybody that gain information in their head, they follow, they're not seeing nothing a clear pathway to be able to come to connect back with that. Because now the thinking is always, I'll have a shortcut here. You understand? Because the boss making away. If follow us now, the sacrificing on the devil, that scripture not occurred. You know what I mean? So every sacrifice now, you follow is always, all right, you know what I mean? If I go down this line, enough, you follow, and I look at this too much, you know what I mean? I don't get a pass. You is not an individual, you know what I mean? You belong to, again, as you know, talking about, you belong to entire, understand? Entire race.
Yes, so like I say, if I mean, you have to bring another point too, right? And at that point, I really big point. Because the other look at, as the general said, was always bring out, right? In the truth, they say, no, they're showing us, they've given us all the tools necessary to form our government.
Correct.
And when we understand that, it's just us not to gather that tool.
That is it.
You're in here,
correct.
Do sleep,
correct.
Gather the tools necessary to build the kingdom.
Correct.
Because now you're already in it. Now we're talking about building.
Correct.
You understand what I say?
Get to work.
Get to work.
Correct.
You're in it.
Correct. I'm right.
Don't think as you're trying to get in it. You're in it. No will. You know what I mean?
Correct.
General can keep bringing all that. Now we have tools. Come in here. Correct. The I.S.U.P.K under commanding general and get tools to build.
That is it.
And that is something I'm gonna put in the spirit because that will be the spirit always remain in that fire.
Correct.
You understand? You're in the truth.
Correct.
The kingdom in you don't show you that mercy as we say.
Correct.
Get the tools the general and given and build it.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
That is what this is all about. I hear some very nice points on the
for sure, because now when they help people understand, and there's this standpoint that coming from, helping people understand the mindset that this is not an individual. As much as you like to think to, you wish it would be so, it's not an individual. You belong to a race, in a sense. So in a race now, this is going to happen in any way.
Right.
You can't shake it, you understand? You can't shape it no way, and it have no other way that it is work. You know what I mean? Well, you could try for 10,000 lifetimes, it wouldn't change. You know what I mean? So when they can really get that, you know what I mean, and Lord allow somebody really get to understand these things that we're bringing out here, all of you all continue to teach and all that, just to add more so that they can really get, you know what I mean, the mindset of how we forefathers used to think. The same thing as in today, it's nothing different. You know what I mean? So don't think you're coming in, you know what I mean, you're coming and you'll say, well, I will take my time and then different things and then prepare yourself, you know what I mean? Prepare yourself and continue to do that because you're going to need the tools and understand the function. There's a work you come to do, you know what I mean? And the body have many members, you know, bring that early on, you know what I mean? That many people they might not have, whatever, but you will have something. Right. You understand? So get the tools, you understand, to ensure that they can work as they should because they have nothing else to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So what I appreciate it. Very good. All right. Not sure. What's that for sure? Oh yes. Verse 4. Skip to verse 14, because now we explain some things that the Christians have a misunderstanding of.
What verse? So let's skip into
Genesis 22 and verse 14.
14. All right, now let's read at least,
right?
The book of Genesis, chapter 22 and verse 14. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day. In the mount of the Most High, it shall be seen. Right. So this Jehovah Jireh, they're talking about, you understand, the Lord being the provider and all of that. They don't want to obey, you understand, the Lord, so that the Lord could be, you understand, the demand that they depend on all the time. You understand? This is the man that I serve, not sacrificing the devils.
Because everything else is sacrificing to the person. I mean, from the time they take on a different mindset, it's just that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? He's showing you then this is the mind Abraham had, so that is why the Lord, you understand, the Lord is his provider. And this Jehovah Jireh, you know, of course, they understand the Bible, and you know, people go adding the shipping, this ain't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? But we understand, coming back to the culture, understand that, you know what I mean, the Most High power, you understand who this provide. Right? Or who actually own everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he is the man that we just have the privilege of being, you understand, the people of that he chooses. So with that now, you understand that this is what it is. Functioning by him, you know what I mean? And then anything else, you know what I mean, to do later on, you know what I mean? You go see. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Like I say, you're not just saying that, I'm saying like when you don't come in the truth and then you know them scriptures like this now. Right. And you know about Judah Jireh thing, and they show you like, you know, how corrupt and see the Christian church can be righteous. Right. When you look at you look at all talking about Judah Jireh, right? You don't mind provider because it's just a mindset at the church, just on things. And as the scriptures show you, if the Musa is a father to you, right? They expect to operate, behave in any which way. Correct. And a father, you don't deal with it the same. Yeah. You catch them going on, but that is not how this does work. Correct. And that is not how you understand what I'm saying? That's how we end up in captivity in the first place. And we know how to, you know, function and carry ourselves even one to another as brothers because then that have repercussions. Correct. The father looking on, they're going to set order now among the brothers. And that is why that's so critical. But Jehovah Jireh to them is always things. Genie. You catch me? The genie around to get things. But provision have nothing only to do with things. Correct. Provision is a broader aspect. You know, because it's like so just 1 minute, right, Babakisha? Because what you need to serve the Most High, understand, is the zeal that He does give you. That's true. That's right. You know what I mean? So that is the only way that things is really happen on the face of the planet, especially under Him. Right. You know what I mean? Other than that, you follow. Just look, you understand? Just look, you might get it now, you might get a mansion, you understand? You might get this, you might get that, but you have a judgment to face after that, you know what I mean? And the people just think they could behave now. That is why they try them. Like a child, you know what I mean? I go see, well, how bad I could behave now. And how, you know what I mean? I test my father, just like a child. I test my father, you know, test my brother and see, you know what I mean? Well, wait till they go take on. Wait till they go take now. I don't do that. You understand? There's a quick ones now. Right? Someday you get quick, someday you get later, but you will feel it. And people can't bear that. And that's what people have to understand. Don't even go down that road to try to test the Most High power. He's not the one to play with, you know? That is the straight to one. Yeah. But whenever you come to read, when you finish. Alright, so that. Yeah, go ahead, slack, yeah. Right. That was it. Ezekiel 9 and 4, Babakisha. Unless you have anything else. Obviously, you can't slack, you say, unless it's this now? Yes, slack, that's all. Alright, I ain't about, no set. Ezekiel 9 and 4, right? The reason why I went with them things and then before is because a lot of people think, you know what I mean, that it's just only one people even seeing us. Like women don't understand, I'm sure they don't understand, you know what I mean, that they have a place for your tuna. You know what I mean? So you're thinking that, you know what I mean, the only time you only see men, you might just see them on the streets, and the time you see them in a thing, you follow, they have a place for you to operate now. It's not to sit them on the sides, you know what I mean, and just, and because it's still like the Christian mind, they say they want to support the truth. I mean, they want to think they come like because they want on the side somewhere, you know what I mean, or they would donate to the school or some kind of thing. No, they have a role and function. They can sort of formulate and change your mind to come back on a better path. Because sometimes they might want it, or later on, let it at least be a reminder to you later on. You know, when it body and hey, what does that do, boy? What is I doing here? There's some shepherd area somewhere you're trying to do. Wherever you're trying to operate in, whatever circle, knowing you follow that you could have been in a better place, this is the function, the way it is. Nobody say, especially if you do nothing wrong, some business that ain't doing wrong, you could continue to do your business. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. We want to do it even more. Because you know you could be better than go ahead. Yes, sir. But you guys are seeing that, right? Right. I just kind of reflecting in times past. Right. The reason why a lot of times that I mentioned women will think, well, like on the sidelines, whatever the case might be, is because not really understanding certain things that the Most High said, because men have a role and a function too, right? We can do what we want. We have parameters. Correct. We being kings and priests plays our role. Damn right, yeah. Understand what I'm saying? We're not the Most High. We didn't set the laws, commandments, and statutes. Right. This was given to us and we follow. The same way women are to follow, the same way children are to follow. So it's the same structure for everybody, but as I rightfully mentioned, and bring big point to bring, it's a function within your role. Correct. Even the men. Correct. Right? Every all of us as priests and prophets in the have a role and a function. Correct. You understand? And these are the general brought out some real key points in our daily councils. Once you function within that role,
Correct.
everything does run smooth.
Yeah.
Even among the brethren.
Correct. Yeah.
Among the brethren, we have different duties, different offices, different whatever the case might be. And now a man within his spirit allow him to function within the duty.
Correct.
You understand? I had the right mindset to function within the duty with all the might, as they say, with full zeal.
Correct.
You know, everything will run to work. Just like the women. Just like they were bringing out, and even around even the same kind of principles. So that,
correct. That's
stay
right.
within your function and everything will run.
But that your design, you know what I mean? It's like what they don't see. It's like they don't see like a machine, and it's a cogs, and you're speaking so sweet because they think, you know, boy, because it's not a big cog. Yeah. What is that doing? And it might be a smaller cog. It didn't go, you know what I mean? And be pleased with it. And the most I go see that and say, hey, well, look how she functioning. You know what I mean? Correct. It's a flawless system. Correct.
Flawless. I don't put it this way.
Right.
Like why I watch it. I don't care how much that has fall out. Correct. Yeah. What misunderstanding they might have.
Correct.
When I watch the structure of a council, you understand what I'm saying? It's flawless. Once and here the key point to it, among men, once the men among themselves can be honest, you have nothing to lose. Correct. Because a man come back and say, boy, it's still like I really make a howdy. Correct. But you know how to be within biblical principles still. You can't move like that. Use that scenario like the priest and Susanna and trying to send she to she there and then expect the council to work. The council know how to be going a different direction, how to pass judgment on you. Correct. But if you realize you mess up. Correct. They submitted. What's wrong with that? Correct. Because now you will realize, boy, down the road that has happened to me too. Correct. But you have to be man enough to make it, but I know what Salakia and then same thing Salakia is saying. The mindset are behaving as though you're trying to get you're trying to gain out. Because when General Salakia, so you know, my bad. When you're really watching men, if you really rule in a planet, correct. You ruling continents and countries, and something should happen, and let's say half the week. Right. Something can happen and take a point and you have to realize a decision or make that wasn't. Correct. Yeah, correct. Now you could say Salakia and make the adjustments. I said. When I come and tell them, yeah, well, I did use this and I did use that. Yeah. And I didn't realize now, but that will use it okay. Now you're going more deep into errors. Correct. You catch me? I didn't send this in. That's my point. Yeah, correct. And that is what, as the generals always bring on, that is what I.S.U.P.K. no cowards is all about. Correct. Being able to be a man, being able to talk the truth, be upright, have integrity. Not swell up your chest and probably have two swords in your hand and feel like as general protection. Many mighty men like that in the grave. Correct. There are many mighty men that in the grave. Correct. But they really is cowards. Correct. No integrity when pressure hits you. Your belly. And but them is men will run up in the Navy and strangle people and in a minute, but really they cowards. Correct. Because people really don't know what is strength and what is strength and what is courage is watching the generals. Correct. Watching the work they're doing. Watching the decisions that have to make. Correct. You understand what I say? Not feeling is muscles. Right. You understand what I say? Correct. Yes, Salakia. No sweat, and you say absolutely on point. Absolutely on point. And you go on, as you were talking about earlier, nothing else but in the scriptures. That's this is a walking Bible. If you wanted to see if it was real again, this is what you see, because we say that the Lord loved what? What they've been taught is the ways of all wickedness. So we expect, you understand, just like they expect us as young men. I myself, you understand, will error. I know I will. You understand, not a might. I will, you understand? So with that now, you have to do that. You know what I mean? To be able to grow. Because if you ain't doing that, you ain't trying to bypass and become the tool, you understand? That the weapon the most I wanted to be. I mean, and a sister could be a weapon too, a child could be a weapon too, you understand? They're supposed to be that. Because again, it's a military, you know what I mean? You function that way there, and you know what I mean? It's really have to be that. You have the protection. Because you know you're operating and thinking as you know what I mean? As this is a gap that I have to make sure I'm feeling like they were talking about last night, you know what I mean? So you're blocking up the gaps. You know, no gaps. Because you function as you're supposed to operate, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm going to encourage you to go that way because now you're shifting into, all right, I need to do something here. You know what I mean? When I'm functioning in my office, you know what I mean? My responsibilities, you know, I know is a duty that is bringing, you understand, a certain result all the time. So now you're looking for ways to continue to do it, of course, in your guidelines. So you ain't doing nothing too often, you might destroy people might take it, you know what I mean, if you do that now. But the thing is, what will happen is sometimes people will destroy because you go forward and not understanding, you know what I mean, that you're trying to be goofy. That is it, and that brother is the key thing already. Correct. Keep you on point. Correct. Because I remember Salakia family this morning, I've written me for a long time, and I me and we pop up from pull up in the app and now leaving home now. Right. And I always say thank God for the brother with the I.S.U.P.K because our officer, my power was home my this morning. And same time I leaving, I really don't want nobody to know what whereabouts. But I was able to leave a place by me and say, hey, what they were stand on by me for 30 minutes. And I threw my free. So now as the script years are up, so I got to bring out some good script years from I believe it was the last class or the class before. The class before it, so yeah, I forget that. Yeah, right. On the class before now, we have been but what is our weapon? I mean a defense, not a weapon. Because I leave no one gonna handle business, no one will say, yeah, please come to remain with my household. Because no one can trust him with my life. You catch it now. So nobody feel well, I just stop out. That's also we are schools and the general might say, stay in the school, do this, do what. You catch it now. And I know can have that peace of mind way. He being here is like I did.
I'm right,
correct. I handle my business. Correct. You catch it and come back. Correct. And I must see brother that
and that in itself, you follow that is the kind of peace you're supposed to be looking for and comfort. You know what I mean? Because you don't know everybody functioning with a mind, you know what I mean, that is an entire race now. So that now a man, you follow, you could go and find the same thing in a different country. And you know for sure. You understand? You know for sure, yeah? You're not guessing, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? For sure, yeah. Same thing. That is a beautiful thing. Nobody else could say, well, boy, they could leave the children by somebody, you understand? And I'm kind of thing, and you know, expect nothing to happen. It might be molestation, but just neglect now. And not thinking, you understand that. But you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Had to be in the same position he is for to ensure that they're good. The child rolling around there, somebody coughing the child in the eye, and because that person have money, he wanted the child to pop up the child eye with the thing. But you come back with makeup and all kind of shit with this, you understand? Yeah. Straight. Hey, it's a water. Most guys, man. 9 and 4, because yeah, man, that's it. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, go ahead.
Go ahead, Salaka.
Yes, sir.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. The Most High said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
You understand? That is what the Lord wanted to make the government full of. That is the men and them he's looking for. That is the men and them that will have his, you understand, his mind state. That is the men and them you follow that you want to follow after a man, you know what I mean? That is the men and them, that is the only men that follow. You understand? All the politicians, they don't sigh and cry for the abominations in the city. And if you wonder, like, nobody was explaining it, that this is that clear picture of what it is do, then when they come in the I.S.U.P.K, you follow the sanctuary that the Lord is sending you to, once you're looking for it, you will find it. You'll definitely come in, you understand? Wherever he is across the world, you know what I mean, you'll find it. Right here, because nobody else is going to paint the picture clear for you and show you, understand? If you comparison here, what the Lord is doing, you understand what the devils and what the earth is doing. You understand? My men is what it is doing, you follow? And they have the compassion, you know what I mean, to say, well, even a man with some of them damn fake them, with some shipness, and they see something happen to them, as we see before. Come on, generally, and I would feel, you understand, that God is so for the brother and have pity on the brother, you understand? Nobody else singing, they say, well, he would get, you understand, and he do this and he do that. No, the Lord don't want to destroy him, you understand? But what we want is because of consequences, or sometimes with protection, as we have in the UPK, that is all going to come outside. They're just showing you. You know what I mean? So, but I really actually have to decide now. Really actually, I could even wait a day. I wait a day longer to be able to, you know what I mean, to take a risk out there. Because out there, you understand, is wolf. And big lion and them, you follow. And them fellas, I ain't talking about wolf and you're thinking I'm wearing a costume. Nah. But the beast that have no mercy, you understand, that is eat. You understand? It's just the power. It's hungry. It's eating, you understand? That will go down. And that is why it is out there. That is the dog, you don't worry. With no protection, you understand? A man might come and have certain traits that he learn and all of that. You get inside of here, you get clean because it have that defensive system, you understand? Defensive mechanism. And that is why it is. People come from all different walks of life. You know what I mean? But when in here, you know what I mean, they have a structure to rule by because the Lord is the man that governs this entire place. Right. You understand? For sure. And he ain't trying to play, you know what I mean? So but I just could understand that, you follow? Really actually. Just come true, you know what I mean? And really actually get your mind up to speed because you didn't get it, you know? This is all of this here is a battle for your mind. All of this that we had to learn and do and go through and all of that, which we have to do. You understand? We ain't have no problem doing it neither. Is to get your mind back, you understand, on track. What is it? You know what I mean? We're going across to Leviticus chapter 26, Baba Kasha. Even from 1 on down.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, no graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it. For I am the Lord your God.
Right.
Verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Verse 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them. Verse 4. Then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Verse 5.
Right there. We pause right. Okay. Because now, just as our son Makakobal is now saying this, the Lord is our Father. Give all the rewards of everything you do, either for good, you understand, or for evil, right? Now, the Christian church would like you to believe that you're not serving an idol. The Muslims would like you to believe you're not serving an idol. Sometimes some of them might have statues in the house, in the whole house. You understand? They might have the statues, the Muslim might have the Kabbal stone, they go and kiss and all of that. But you ain't supposed to do. But the one you're going to talk about is in your mind. So you're not going to jump across Ezekiel 14, Babakasha. Right? Because this is what the leaders and them put it in your mind now. So when you now begin to not follow the Most High, not follow after the ways of the Lord, let me show you what they formulated inside your mind. Okay, what the scriptures say, you know. Ezekiel 14. When you have it, read Baba Kasha.
From verse 1.
Yes, sir.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 14 and verse 1. Then came certain of the elders of Israel unto me, and sat before me. Verse 2. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 3, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their hearts.
Now they set it up in a how you call it, the Gandhi somewhere.
They have set up idols in their hearts.
And the Queen's Park Savannah.
Set up idols in their hearts.
Right? These men, they set up idols in their mind, right? That is a Christian pastor, that prosperity doctrine, you know what I mean? And God love everybody, and this and that, the other, everything to benefit them. They follow that is the idols they set in their mind. Pay attention. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman. Read on, Baba Kisha.
And put the stumbling block of iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of all by them?
And here we go. And the priest of them, they have so much boldness now, you know what I mean? They come in for the Most High, you know what I mean? And quiet and asking certain things that the prophet and praying and all kind of thing, you know what I mean? And that time, man, them thinking about, boy, you know, what 10 golden chariot behind it that the king of Amalek have for me. You understand? Right. What? We don't know the show.
Verse 4. Therefore, speak unto them and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, every man of the house of Israel that setteth up his idol in his heart, and putteth the iniquity before his face, and cometh to the prophet, I, the Lord, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols.
The Lord saying, I think for all of them. And as I think for every one of them idols in their heart, I think for them. Go ahead.
Therefore,
verse 5, Salakia.
Verse 5, that I may take the house of Israel in their own hand, because they are all estranged from me through their idols.
Right, and that's what has happened but now with these shepherd man. Why the people and them so removed from the Most? They say estranged, you know what I mean? They divorce me. I know who is the stranger man here doesn't try to come at me and you know, like Israel and like, you understand the Lord with me and bless. Oh, that's them today. They're not different, you know what I mean? They're going to treat the sport, you understand? I love you, Lord, and thing, and all my heart and all my soul and all kind of garbage. How can I lie? But I remove from the most side that the ways and inside their mind, and nothing concerning this Bible, nothing concerning the instructions that the most I gifted them to do, you understand? At the end of the day, we don't know what
Come on. Verse 6. Therefore, say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, repent, and turn yourselves from your idols, and turn away your face from all your abominations.
Understand? The most I trying to still give them some mercy. From all these abominations. I make you out, you know what I mean? The Lord saying, I make you out that. You understand? All this shit. When they say, you think my prophet's dumb or imagine the mind that they come with now, like the most I power in 10,000 eyes, you know what I mean? Oh, eyes all over the place. I say that only 10,000 eyes all over the damn place. I'm trying to tell them, shit, this all I'm buying. I feel like that long more. You know what I mean? So away from that garbage. But I do so before I kill all it. You understand? Straight. You don't know about
Verse 7. For every one of the house of Israel, or of the stranger that sojourneth in Israel, which separateth himself from me, and set his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of iniquity before his face, and cometh to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I, the Lord, will answer him by myself.
You know what the most I didn't know, you understand? So that's what the Lord saying, you know. All of them that said that stumbling block before their face, because you know his stumbling block is where you go chop up yourself. Eventually, you understand? So think in no way that, you know what I mean, that you're supposed to reverence the Most High, not even begin, you know, to look at that as a pathway to walk. You know what I mean? So, you know, with the corruption, you know what I mean? And I'll go take a bribe here, you know what I mean? And I'll go, I'll go set up this man here, you know what I mean? Set up that sister here, you know what I mean? I'll go do so, and I like to commit adultery, you know what I mean? So I'll go, what I do with them here? You know what I mean? Because them have money, you understand? So them say, fuck it now, so them have that in their mind, you know, and I have all them different, I mean, flexing and coming before the Most High, so now, birds. I don't know, so yes, so go ahead.
And again, as we bring all that, again, as we mentioned in the beginning class, this is not about religion.
Correct.
So all of that showing you this is a history book about our people. So it destroying religion right here now. So as they say, you have all of that in your mind, that religion. That we formulate, as they say, your own doctrine, your own this, your own that. And this is a history book.
Right.
Because you are that right, and you see, you can make mention of it. Talk about the stranger in Israel. Who is that? It's a Jew.
Right.
He's Israelites.
Yeah, so even the man who come from Jamaica, you understand, or whatever, coming true, correct. Correct.
There's a religious book.
That's right.
Where everybody can join.
Right.
Or religion on a whole way man make and tell it to worship.
That's how really deal with it. Correct is right, you know what I mean? So this is your historical records, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman. If all of us know what he was trying, the Lord trying to help them and let them to understand. Or they ain't gonna poison my flock. Or they're not gonna do this in the same because remember they have power. So when they're gonna cut all them side and everything, everybody started spreading, he started spread with all the evil doers them here. So hey, check that man, you understand? You go pay up, you understand? You go pay him driving, you know what I mean? Not here, you understand? Say, but I repent from them ways, so I will personally deal with it. You understand? Yes, sir, go ahead.
I want to know, as you say, you put these men, Ezekiel. Now this is what we have now.
Correct.
We know in history.
Correct.
So we put it against, set the face against
of
them.
Of course, yeah.
So we face it against their religious belief, with them think, and with them feel that they know that they can maneuver through like they can mention.
Correct.
So now this is what we bringing out here now.
That's right.
The I.S.U.P.K. Set your face against them.
Correct.
Tell them, hey, all the think now they have in all their mind, hey, I'll get this strong.
And here's the thing, right? Once the Lord did them, right, of renown, and he made them the high seats and all them authority, you think the Lord play with them? So when he say now, you follow that he not dealing with your soul. Because he know you go poison my flock and them doing all manner of evil. He let them know in advance, right? And this is for the Christian mindset man, the Muslim mindset man, and whoever the case is, you understand? Hypocrisies and Pharisees and Sadducees and all of them. The Lord making you to understand something, right? If you don't do this, you understand, I'll hit you some more coronavirus in your backside, you understand? I'll go hit you this, you know what I mean? I'll go hit you that, and you want to know what taking place. You will exactly know, because I will meet you, you understand, personally, and deliver, you understand? All the things that he say, all the items that they have set up in their heart, you know what I mean? He will come and deliver to them, wow. Just like that. That's how the Lord operating, you know what I mean? So you open them people to understand something. And that is what is happening today. Today and all, when people feel like going back to church and think the normal. Right now, the Delta variant, how much people are killed. And because it isn't really happening in Trinidad, so people feel, you know what I mean? They can go and flex back and they have the mind, they got the confidence, because remember the leaders ain't getting punished. If the leaders are getting punished, it might have a little bit less people in that church. You understand? But you're gone. He's saying this though. This ain't a back then word. You understand? And this is a season. This ain't a Lord ever seasonal. You understand? He will season up everything. You follow? So before you had a season up a man pot. You understand? A leader pot, you know what I mean? With some real nice ingredients. You let them know what time it is. Better they turn away from that. I know they understand that have people and them that be watching the UPK, or they better turn away from that. You understand? Or you want to put the most side the test. You want to see, you understand, if we prophets and we can prophesy, we prophesy nothing now we serve. We prophesy what the Lord said. And we say, you understand, the Christian churches and them that have all the idols in their mind and against, you understand, the most high commandments, and the way you're supposed to live, you're following against brotherhood and against the children of Israel coming back to know what they're supposed to do and want to put them in the chop, and the so-called white man and everybody else, you follow, and have them lost and scattered. And they better turn away from what it is he said, you understand? What it is he said what he's supposed to be doing, turn away from it. You understand how it's a face that judgment there? Real talk. Is this what it is? Right? We done about Gisha? Yeah.
And a lot of the times, that's the way to say it, a lot of the times, many of the leaders in these institutions already getting punished.
Yeah.
But they're scrambling to save face.
Yeah.
To save face in the public eye. But we ain't seeing the chemotherapy and the cancer that are going to.
Thank you.
We ain't seeing who for dialysis.
Correct.
After the post at a poor shirt, we ain't seeing the financial problem there.
Correct.
So that pain at the moment, but the Lord already put it in the house already.
Correct.
And others, the Lord totally get rid of it.
Correct.
And still, under all this oppression, the Lord bringing upon them, still giving them mercy.
Correct.
And they're still not paying, and eventually they will just get destroyed.
That is it. That is it. Because remember, they're sowing onto that, the multitude of idols as they put more. as the set of them get licks, you understand? The next one they put up there, then he coming at them too.
That's right.
Because remember, they started to formulate new ideas that I could possibly, you understand, work I did with my secretary. So, you know, instead of paying the secretary, I had 10,000, you know, promise the secretary at 10,000, 20,000. Not say nothing because she handling the affairs and watching the books. Now, she open out and see, who really taking place here and all of that. But she gave a promise. Or he because she's something and because she can't mind, and some weak thing because she never grew up, she not really truth. You understand? So she has a moral code. You understand? She don't have the things in them that's supposed to keep her mind defended against certain things. He has secrets and she. But somebody, you understand, but then, but if he himself in secret, you understand, somebody put up, you know what I mean, to go and handle business. Right? And everybody holding secret on one another. You know what I mean? So let's come in. Understand some that is the part better that you're gone. The secretary who do that, you understand? She started to sleep with the brother and sleep outside marriage and all them garbage and all that. Here go then you have an opportunity here now, you understand, to turn away from all that before the judgment will lay down. Before the time is up. You understand the hourglass here, so and the coming down in the last quarter, the last portion, because these scriptures. In the last portion, we don't know when that will happen. You follow? If it's 100 years from now, if it's how much ever lifetimes and from now, repent so that you can have an opportunity to come back in a better state. And not only yourself, but your entire race, your entire family. If you love them, children, you have, however, you need something to be on your grandmother, your mother, your father, whoever the case is. So whoever you love more. But sometimes that does happen because you ain't taught and understand the value of your people and them. Right? So you love some more. And in some cases, it warrants in a sense to love more because of how much in a sense they show, in a sense they appreciation, but it's not for you to cut off what it is you're supposed to give to them, the honor, you understand, and the take care and the love you're supposed to give to them. Don't be partial in terms of your mercy. That is really and truly your mercy, you understand? Don't be partial in your mercy. Give them the mercy, you know what I mean? That the Lord would extend to you. Right? Or you like the to extend it. Like say you're not in a position. Not because you're not in a position, you don't practice in what you're supposed to do. Formulate your mind that way, your defense is up against when Satan try that attack. You know what I mean? Because you're practicing that, but if you ain't practicing it again, what will happen? You're going to hate your brother. In your heart, you will hate them. You do nothing else, you hate your sister, you hate your children. You hate your community, and I know for sure you hate your race. But right now, you just don't understand you hate your race, but you hate your race. You love everybody else. You know what I mean? Because that's the Christian mind, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then the people who woke, you understand, and love their people, you have to learn to love your people. You don't love your people as they say you do, because you're not contributing to ensure that your people understand that this is the example you're supposed to have. So all of y'all blacky in that group and all of that, you don't love your people either. You don't understand what it means to love your people. Yeah, like GEN.YAHANNA, you want to learn how to love. It's a lot here. Some of them bros and just for TV, you know, she love nothing down. Out of the abundance of the heart, she might speak that, and she thinks she sees something deep there. You know that, you know the dragon she is. It's a lot here. Here we go to go. Oh gosh. Hey.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 14 and verse 8. And I will set my face against that man, and will make him a sign and a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people, and he shall know that I am the Lord.
You understand? Remember, the Lord control life and death. So when you say that is it, that is the time, that is the time. Don't provoke the Most High further. You understand? Talking about me, I think Babu Gusha, you know, this is what I would say, but Ezekiel, Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and verse 7, Babu Gusha. There's only perfect things, and the Lord give you to say, boy. Not tomorrow. I think Jeremiah man said it best at that time. He said, anything else, you know, you can take your time to do, but when it comes to repentance, repent today. Repent now. You understand? No wait. Anything, you know what I mean? You might want to do this, you might want to do that, you know, you can take your time doing that, but with regards to righteousness and repentance, brother, sister, you know, don't tarry. All right, when you have it, read Babu Gusha, Ecclesiasticus 5 and verse 7.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5 and verse 7. Make no tarrying, turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
Now the Lord said 5 years, I will come around on you.
For suddenly the wrath of the Lord.
10 years down the road.
For suddenly.
Right. At any time. Yes, sir. Wait.
For suddenly the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt destroy and perish in the day of vengeance.
Understand? So the Lord will have more enough vengeance to this to say, well, I don't have to lay my judgment on it. Because he ain't getting it. So maybe you understand next time you come back, you might get it. If Allah I might send him back in the new generation, of course you come back in our state, but you might get it next time. Because again, my intention is not to destroy you. You understand? And to cripple you until wife. You understand? You're for the face of the planet. That is not my intention. You understand? So, yes, sir, man, not sure, right? That is not my intention. You know what I mean? I really wanted to understand, to come back to how you're supposed to be thinking as an entire race, and not an individual. You follow? Like punishing, you understand? Punishing real heavy. You know what I mean? You can get touched up personally, you understand? But as a race, do the things in them that will inform or show my people and them exactly how they're supposed to think, how they're supposed to, you know what I mean, function. They're supposed to be in them. And that they're trying, you know what I mean? I just talking about it and they're trying to, you know, they don't come back in the kingdom or waiting, you know what I mean, to get wings and all kind of garbage. That is not what he's about. Most are not about that. You understand? Formulate your mind into being perfect. Perfect and upright so that now it's spread through the entire race and that they understand that this is how, this is the only way how the son of perdition or the son of sin will be revealed. And people could fall away from that garbage. By us, understand, taking the time and making sure that we don't tarry, but turn to the Most High now and begin to serve the Lord as you're supposed to. You know what I mean? So like a warrior, go ahead, Babu Gusha, go on to Psalms chapter 62, because and verse 10. Because now it are real different type of idols, right? But the major one on the planet. And that's only one that people think that's fix all the problems and
The book of Psalms chapter 62 and verse 10.
Babu Gusha.
Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery.
You understand? So he's showing you now the mindset of the people and them, the rich of the society, because they trust in oppression and they vain, you understand, by robbing. They follow the useless. You and they thinking that they go fix the world, you know? They robbing you. If all are you slaving maybe for about $15 an hour or some kind of garbage, right? And now they're taking all that money and thinking they're going to donate some to some type of charity and to get tax write-off. Then they say they're donating for real to get tax write-off. Great publication.
If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
If riches increase, you don't set your heart on that. That is not your God, you know what I mean? Verse 11, publication.
Verse 11. God had spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto the Most High.
Power belongeth to the Most High, not the oppressor. Not the man, you understand, who had the most amount of money. You follow, not NLCB. If you get scratched, you understand? Hey, God bless me. No, sir. No, madam. You understand? It's not use not a piece of paper you follow that is make a origami, dock or some kind of thing and you're paid. No, the Most High is a man that when he design you and you belong to people, you follow, everybody have a role and function on the planet. But you in particular, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man and woman, understand that your function is to come, you follow and apply yourself where it is that you have a fit. You fit into somewhere. If you don't fit into anywhere or you're not in a place right now, is the end result of your community is being in the condition it is today. Because you're not applying, you're not functioning in that role. That is simply what it is because it's designed that way already. The entire machine is a structure the Lord have. Right? And it's a body, you follow, and without these things and then being in place, the body can't walk, it can't move. You follow? That is where you want to come and be a part of, or just wait until the destruction. Or you're not wait, you might get it today. You know what I mean? You could get it anytime. It's just simply up to you. It's what you want to do. You could want to serve, you could want to live, or you could want to die. If you need help, you understand? Like everybody else, I need help with living. You understand? I understand I'll call out and get all the help I need to live. You understand? And that's what you should want to. Not think as an individual, but as an entire, you understand, entire race as a government. You follow? Because all of you need, you understand, one another to operate as the Lord really built it to be so. Alright? We're going to cross to Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12, Babakasha. We don't want you to understand, we don't want you to get a Christian mindset and say drop everything. You follow? But understand what money is. Money is not to, you understand, puff up your mind or to think that you have some type of security. Money doesn't secure you. It is follow to have a defense. So there's ways you're supposed to utilize it, and of course you get counsel because you don't know what to do. It's like you don't know what to think. You don't know how to solve the situation with your brothers and your mothers and your sisters and yourself. You don't understand how to do it. The psychiatrists in the world don't have the answers in them. I have plenty of psychiatrists today. You follow some of them work in McDonald's. You follow because they don't have the ability to help nobody, to fix no problems. Right? They don't have no jobs to them because they don't know, well, okay, some people, there's only some amount you follow that will give a certain amount of influence to and access to certain things and to people so them they can rob people. Right? That's it. Nothing else. College is a scam. Everybody teaching in college ain't doing the same thing they teaching. But I mean, they have some people that they'll teach you a certain, you know what I mean, certain way to do a certain thing. But again, it's only in the field when you're operating is when you can actually get the understanding what it is you're supposed to get. So get your education, get certain things, but at the same time, that is not going to, how to put it? I want to say sustain because you're not looking for survival, you're looking to live. You know what I mean? That is not livelihood, that is not the way our people is live. So stop in the mind of scrambling and doggy-dog and fighting for scraps. We don't do that. You understand? We want to come back to the table, not from the scraps at the master's table. That's not what the Lord gave us. You could do it, you follow? But again, you have to come back just to reconnect to the entire nation, you follow? Come back to the government and learn how to apply yourself. And I'll say 10,000 times in one place. It might sound repetitive, but that's what it is you have to do. All right? Babu Shah, you have it? Ecclesiastes 7 and 12, Babu Shah. Yeah.
Come. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For wisdom is a defense,
mm-hmm.
and money is a defense.
Mm-hmm.
But excellency of knowledge
mm-hmm.
is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
You understand? You have no wisdom against, you have no wisdom outside, in the son of the I.S.U.P.K under command in General Young. So-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. People that in certain places in society and behind the scenes and they get counsel from the men, they understand that they need to get proper understanding of what they should do and how they're supposed to think and all that. That's why they do it. That's why we exist today in the first place. You know what I mean? And it's just that. All right, so you want to get yourself, you know what I mean, in alignment with the Most High by coming and getting yourself, you follow, connected to the nearest school to you. You follow? So again, we want to ensure that you understand exactly what you have to do. So make the step today, not tomorrow. The Lord said, you understand, to make no time to serve Him. Because in your security, you understand what you think might save you. That is exactly what He's going to destroy you. You know what I mean? When the bunker, you think it right now, if follow that guy get touched up. Right there and then. If follow he will get that, he will get justice. Right. That's how the Lord is operating. He want to make an example of it, real things. Don't be understanding the process of the Most High. Like that, and with that, we pass the class about the priest and officer, pastor, cut the mic one.
Yeah, most of
that's the most time person. It's a lock here, right? Straight. All right, come on. And let's follow this example now of how money is a defense, right? Matthew 27, and not to say like I'm going to show you the reality of how our nation is functioning. So like, right, the reality of how we function, our nation is functioning, right? Matthew 27, verse 57 to 60. And this is that present example of how money is a defense, right? And this is not some strange, and why is it in the New Testament as well? Is because I know we just do is one book. You know what I mean? It's one way we're supposed to operate and understanding just minor things that we can't do today. And it's something that shouldn't be the case because it's so sad that we can't bury people and them, you know what I mean, as it's supposed to. Like normal. And then I want to show you a different aspect to it too, because now when you're seeing how this brother was operating, right? Which is Joseph of Arimathea. I agree with it, right? Let's see, but that really one in John 19. I really want in John 19 instead, right? John 19 and verse 38 to 42, right? And this, let's start. And after this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Yahushua, but secretly for fear of the Jews, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Yahushua. So he asked Pilate to come and, to take away Christ's body now, right? And Pilate gave him leave. So he gave him, he granted him to take Christ's body. He came therefore and took the body of Yahushua. Verse 39, and there came also Nicodemus, which at the first came to Yahushua by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100 pound weight, right? So Nicodemus and all come to give something towards Christ dying, right? For the funeral and all that, for the burial. Verse 40, then took the body of Yahushua and wound it in linen. So the linen is expensive, piece of garment, right? With the spices, so you wrap up in linen, with the spices, as the manner of the Jews is to bury. Now, somehow you pay real attention to the last part of this, the verse 41 and 42. Now, in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre, wherein where never man yet laid. There laid Yahushua, therefore, because of the Jews' preparation day, for the sepulchre was nigh at hand. Now, to get to understand one of them places them reserved, it is take more money. Understand, to bury somebody than usual. It's just showing you how money can be a defense as well. Something that you're supposed to do. So there's an honorable thing, right? You're burying Christ, for God's sake, right? The king of the nation, right? And then thing that we used to do like Nehemiah and all of that before, right? They're going ahead and doing these things, and because now you're putting yourself in position to be able to handle the affairs, you understand, of your nation. So this way you're thinking now as a nation and not an individual. You ain't thinking to buy no damn Range Rover. You have things that you're supposed to, that you could commit, you could, contribute towards now. You don't need a damn Range Rover, you know what I mean? You don't need, a Bentley and all this garbage. You don't need your personal things. Again, it's just the mind of seeking the comfort of this world, right? As opposed to coming back to rebuilding your nation or coming back to your nation and building it up as it's supposed to, so we can rule righteously on the planet and show people this is what it is. You understand? This is how to live and enjoy yourself and Ariel, you understand? Nice little wine and thing and certain speech and all that. This is how you're supposed to do it. Normal, they thinking that there's some kind of, you know what I mean? Some funeral or some, you know, when you're bending your knees and dance. You know, kind of church. So like, yo, go ahead, we'll take it away. You're going to church, you're about to hey, you're about to cheer. So like, yeah.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, SHALAM, New York, under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew and it's pronounced Maestro. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. The upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Dedication, also known as Hanukkah, which is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which is Sunday, the 28th November 2021. You can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verses 52 to 61. Remind Archeum and Aquatium to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like headbands or scarf. And with that, we say, imagine. We're going to turn and face the east, and we're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Subasumay, Padas, Ayam, Shabka, Yahawa, Alpaka, Tabaat, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Aratza, Kawa, Aya, Ashamaya, Thundanaw, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Masalakna, Kawawatna, Masalakna, Kawawatna, Ala'a, Tabayanawa, Balasayawan, Abal, Oshino, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Rataparat, I will love you, Aman.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
We're going to say the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Babakasha, Thundanawa, Hakak, Larapa, Kalmanawo, Hakak, Lata, Atamazaria, Hakak, Salakia, La Hakwayom, Amatayom, Akak, Arakawat, Atamayela, Lagashan, Basam, Yamasai, Wadama.
In the English,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power
to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against the clean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. We're going to say the blessings in the Hebrew. Brakatayawa, Wayawashai, Wamakala, Walahayam, Matazavia, Alawapian, Halawapia, Asarania, Akwatazayanya, Makayaliya, Wakwatya, Yahweh, Bashem, Yawashai, Wada Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, commanding Giant, the generals, captains, officers, troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it.
What is the I.S.U.P.K curses? Blessed are you.
Blessed are you.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and
Punishment and
destruction.
destruction.
To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose. The church of the rich of Israel. Refuse to give to the school. Force the riches. Enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nation. And their drug dealers. The court system. Prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. The Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Gay movement. Lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marine. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airways. Cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word. So the planet Earth that lose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro to the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake. Also the thief. And the murderer. And the house Micah. Gabriel. Done with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathens that come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. That it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. To the whole world. Cause them to shake as I come in. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you always. So be it. Go to the blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Barak Lanawa. Wa'ashala. Habayak. Saparia. Barak. Rupa. Magan.
The Shikakela.
Shikakela.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth.
All the brothers and sisters in the truth.
All the brothers and sisters in the truth.
Command
General. General. Captain. Officers. Troopers. Sisters. Destroy the Israel. Brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth. Brothers and sisters in the truth.
All 12 tribes of Israel.
All 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. I.S.U.P.K worldwide in their families. I.S.U.P.K trying to beg on their families. I.S.U.P.K, Tamar,
Commanding General YAHANNA,
General, Captain, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children,
destroyed of Israel,
Yabana,
Raknapa,
Shariah,
Kintian family,
Muslim family, Koto family, Philip family, Fletcher family.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Commanding YAHANNA.
All the generals, all the captains, all the officers, all the troopers, all the students, all the fighting the community truth. Kintian family, Shamka, Yapa, Para.
Commanding YAHANNA. General, captains, officers, troopers, and the sisters. Yakab, Matazar, Radab, Naima.
Commanding
YAHANNA. General, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, students, children, brothers and sisters fighting the truth. Brothers and sisters in the truth. Mercy upon all the destroyed of Israel. Mercy upon all the sick and healing of Israel. Mercy upon the sick and healing of Israel.
Mercy upon all our families.
Mercy upon all our families. Commanding YAHANNA. Generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, students, all the destroyed of Israel. All those fighting come to the truth. John family, Philip family, Alexis family, the Koto family. Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Tawada Aman.
In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai. Bless us, and Israel, and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect, our loved ones. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Sir,
Men of Israel, let's give the teacher a one courtesy salute. Abandon Shabbat. Amadio. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Let's give the sisters online a one courtesy salute. Abandon Shabbat. Amadio. Barak. Yahweh Shem Class dismissed.
This in class. All right. Hey, yes, shalom.